Yes.
Oh my God! Please, for the love of God, we need to get this under wraps.
I'm trying.
You're worse than me at Lizzie's wedding.
This is fair.
It's not true. I was much worse. I'm glad that you thought it was funny and not awful. Okay.
I mean, I dropped a dad joke.
That's true.
So
Okay, Jeremy.
Oh.
If there's a bad take Jeremy has, it's just
It's that Josuke's the best JoJo.
yeah. Ooh.
3, 2, 1. We got our first sponsor. We're super excited about it. Our music and audio is now brought to you by dSCRYB. If you're looking for just the right ambiance for your spooky dungeon crawl, check out dSCRYB's catalog of sound and music. If you're really looking to scare your players, then you can even use dSCRYB's narration tools as they perfectly describe the dungeon that you're about to enter. You pass the threshold of the storied place and find yourself in the first chamber. A hallway rampant with junk. Any carvings, statues, gnarled sconces on the walls have been obscured by the considerable piles of old and broken equipment. Slashed leather, frayed ropes, dented helms, soiled bedrobes, discarded by adventurers past, perhaps dropped in favor of plunder found deeper within. A trail cuts through the dragon's hoard of debris to the door that will lead you further in. You glimpse a skeletal hand hanging out of one of the mound's fingers, extending spider-like toward the door as if eager for spoils that might be left within. And if that's not enough for you, you can have access to pre-made maps, soundscapes, and their Foundry module to fit exactly what you're looking for on the fly. If this sounds as cool to you as it does to us, because we're really going to be using this in the future, it's super awesome, then you can use code DUNDER to get a 30-day free trial. That's code DUNDER at checkout. Links below. Thanks for listening, and thank you, dSCRYB, for checking us out and sponsoring the show. I did it again.
You do.
I clapped my bracelet in half.
Oh, when did you get the sillies out?
Oops.
They get the sillies out?
Yeah, all the sillies. We clapped, so they're gone now,
The
right?
sillies are not going.
No, they're not gone. I can feel it bubbling in my stomach right now. I'm this close to another giggle fit. Like,
You remember when I became Aqualad last time?
What?
When I became Aqualad last time.
your brother is literally Mermaid Boy, so. Mermaid Man.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
I was thinking about that, like, after the fact, like, they all just felt, like, all my siblings just felt that, and then I summoned everybody within 5 minutes, and I just sat there with a stake through my heart the entire time.
There's a reason they didn't ask too many questions.
Yeah.
Like
You were full aura farbing. Just
It was like Chal on the throne. Just like,
You're probably wondering why I've called you here today.
anyways, well, we're gonna get into that. Last time on the Queen's Rooks, it was quite climactic. After the fight when Stone Spire concluded, the party gathered the dead. Yeah, I knew it.
yeah.
What?
Yeah, Lizzie?
Andrew, the type of DM that laughs at his NPC jokes, says Jeremy.
Spoiled it. Spoiled it.
It's true.
Now you're just trying to be hurtful because your feelings are hurt, Jeremy.
How would I feel it? All right. After the fight in the Spire of the Stone concluded, the party gathered the dead and alive, saved the remaining sorcerers from the Nixium bog pits, and even Juceris' youngest son. While working on all that, you guys were contacted by Judge Asperia telling you that the guild pact had been broken and their exile lifted. Welcome back. You guys can all go back to Guild's Row. Whatever's left over.
Yep.
Shortly after that, Hilda of the Sinslayers contacted Alyssa and told her that Althea had information on what Enduin was doing and needed to speak with them quickly. You told her, like, hey, this is where we're at in the Shadowfell. If you just want to, we could definitely use some help. as well as just chat there. And she was like, cool, on it.
Hey.
Teleported there. Althea had even located Alyssa's mother with the Soulsmith. Styx, with the Sinslayers there, had begun to explain the discordance, with the Sinslayers confirming those effects on the material plane. As you guys realize, you'd lost about 3 weeks, as you guys had been bouncing between the Feywild and the Shadowfell. Being told there's roughly a month until the planes are close enough to touch and have the Enduin forces launch their attack. Thank you. The Sinslayers, with the help of the Broken Wings, or Sinslayers help the Broken Wings move all the wounded back into the Twilight, bringing the Dreamer through and returning him to the Sanctum. Sail used Dream to find the Dreamer's consciousness that was left in the Shadowfell, allowing them to have their mind healed. They then revived Nier, who had fallen in the fight at the Spire and was thrown in the Nixium bog pits themselves.
What's...
I'm paying attention.
There's a lot of...
There's a giggle fit going.
Yeah, there's contained mirth, and I don't know why.
I don't either.
But I will continue on. While in Twilight Grove, Alyssa and Hilda worked together to make a new virtue, Defiance. Alyssa promised while making that the spell-smashing gauntlets, they would only be used as a temporary fix to ring around the neck of Leon Enduin. Crafting such a wonderful act, signaling that Alyssa is forevermore the Architect Arcane.
Woo! Pretty cool.
After this, the group left for the River Prince's court. Sail, with the 2 anchors that were made for the occasion, the prince sat up with the last dregs of his strength to meet them and asked his long-lost brother for relief. Instead of healing the River Prince, he ceded his court over to you and faded into the ether. Whether that means he will be reborn as another river spirit down the line, or if he just gets to join the cosmos as energy itself, you're not quite sure. But you do know that he did it with a smile on his face and laughing the whole way out. With that, Sail decided it was time to call court to session, bringing in all the separate river spirits from across the world of Jolstiem to his throne room. Amongst them, some familiar faces, namely Talasaval, the sea hag that was of no small part of their troubles while in Guild's Row. Sail, with his first royal edict, simply commanded his brethren to literally rip her apart.
There's a process to get there, but...
There was.
Dead.
As she was dismantled, Sail called on his a newfound brother, Hardron, to get them close to the Pillar of Stone, a city in the Southern Hemisphere called Panee, where we pick up here today. So, you guys are in the Southern Hemisphere of Jolstiem. This is new stomping grounds for you. You know, Hardron had this muddy river spirit had kind of fallen through and brought you guys here. There is these large plateaus and spires of stone that go all the way up, creating a almost quasi mountain range. There are humanoid forces on the backs of Axebeak as they are kind of trotting throughout the land, and you see one of them, a party of them actually as a hunting party themselves, with these massive hammers as they run down this deer, and with a sickening knock it unconscious before dealing a finishing blow as they all kind of hop off. All of them in these like thick furs and leathers as they on the spot begin to process this deer. See, further up, Hardron had commented that there is basically two different societies going on here, those in the foothills and those all way further up. Those further up have a more traditional city, while here in the foothills they have almost like roving tribes. Yeah, I think you and I could probably get down to the Earth place. I don't know if they could though.
Okay. Well, do you know where the front gates to the city are?
Yeah. They're not really gates. They don't got walls or anything like that. If you just go up, they're right up there.
Okay.
And he'll point out, and you see there's like switchbacks of trails going further and further up. And every once in a while, you see like little stations, things like that. At the bottom, there are a bunch of tents and things like that set up. And the further up you get, the architecture changes and becomes a little bit more solid. As they're not lean-tos, but instead of like actual stone structures.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Sahil's brother a question. How well do the local folk around here respect you as the river spirit?
I mean, I don't think they know I'm here.
Do they respect the river?
I mean, yeah.
I'm trying to see if Sahil, being, master of rivers now, has any, leeway or pull of like, hey, I need to go here, take me, kind of thing,
I think we could just ask.
Well, what if they're trying to hide it?
I introduce myself as who I am and explain why.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is like, I'm trying to figure out how much, like, that's going to get us.
Probably a good. I think I can talk my way in.
Okay. All right.
That was the thought process.
Do you know if the tribes folk might know a way in? Different way than the city?
Yeah, if I can be completely honest with you, they don't talk to me. I don't talk to them.
Yeah.
Right.
They're down here. They're all about like stones and rocks, and up there, they're all about the air and how nice it is. So
We might want to talk to the tribes folk first.
if anybody they might know.
Since they're like stones and rocks people.
That would probably be the people to ask.
No.
Well,
Cool.
thank you very much for
Yep.
helping us get here.
Yep.
Are you supposed to tip him?
I feel like he's trying to push on that.
Stop it.
So we good? You're not gonna like get me ripped apart or anything like that,
But that was never.
sir, Commander, sir.
You did leave quite an impression.
And I think he's still got a little something there.
Just keeping it as a memento, dear brother.
On your chest. Thought we pulled that out of you.
So I'm just, unless you say otherwise, I'm just gonna go.
We're all good. Thank you very much for the help. If I ever need to talk, I'll just try to reach out and say hi, visit every now and again.
Yeah. Like I said, they got really nice hot springs up there. I enjoy them.
Maybe we need to take a trip.
Kill vampires.
I mean, like after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kill vampires, then after hot springs.
Yeah.
Unwind a little bit.
Yeah. We'll let you know if we go to the hot.
How are you with
I'll feel
Steve,
it.
Melissa?
Like harnessing it for the powers of creation?
All right, now I know.
What?
Oh,
Oh, time to go put your Bunga Bunga voice on.
All right. Well, and then before his hand gets all the way up, he just.
It's like that puddle guy from Sky High.
Sure.
what do you mean by Unga Bunga Kex? How?
I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it from the guy who's from the woods.
Okay.
I don't really get it either.
Whenever he goes ape mode.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not gonna be a monkey.
Oh.
Why would I?
You constantly are looking for ways to become the monkey.
It's not useful right now, though.
Never know.
Turned into a badger, and then you were going to start to dig, and then you didn't.
Well,
I'm taking my teddy bear back, by the way.
I don't remember having a teddy bear.
You definitely gave the teddy bear to
Yeah, the gnome has the
the gnome
bear,
lady.
and she still has it.
No, at the end of last session, you were going to dig. I took the teddy bear back, and I made it a tiny servant.
I remember the tiny servant. With
I don't
the
remember.
And then I
the
attached
teddy
it
bear.
to you, and I said, I'm going to cast with my spell storing item. I'm going to cast.
Oh, yeah. You gave the teddy bear to the lady, but you took it back when
Yeah.
you guys went and re-got her. Yep, you're 100% right. I'm so sorry for incorrecting you.
You gave me that teddy bear. My daddy gave me that teddy bear, and I better have it.
You're.
Yeah, my dad. My literal
True.
Alyssa dad.
Yeah.
100%. Alyssa
You-
dead.
Don't make
you
it
just,
weird.
The way, just
Don't
the,
make it weird.
No, the order in which you said things.
Anyway,
That's a nice wall.
I go over to the Earth Genasi.
Sure.
I try to make myself nice and
Asai.
kind and approachable and not scary at all.
You take the stake out of your chest.
That was. Do you remember when I just started having like a random coughing fit and going, "Oh fuck"?
Yeah.
Like somebody pretended to just rip it out.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Lizzie did.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So that was me responding as Sayo, like, "Oh fuck."
We're gonna pull it out on 3. 1.
All right, cool. Yeah.
And then I framed it.
You start making your way over. Saffron kind of just sitting on your shoulder as you guys are walking over. She goes like, so, question.
What's up?
If you're a prince
Yes.
and I like pranks, can I be your court-appointed jester?
I don't see why not. I was also going to make you the master of runes because I thought that would upset Alyssa and it'd be funny
Why was
That sounds like a prank by itself.
because you're a rune knight.
See, listen, as your master of runes, I need to let you know. Different kinds of runes. Those, big people runes. These, primordial runes.
See, not my forte, so I didn't know that.
I'm advising you as your master of runes.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm taking my job seriously. Is that not correct? Architect Arcane.
I was going to make her title actually Master of Crafts. The MC Alyssa.
I like it. MC.
Master of Ceremonies. The MC Sticks. Master of Corpses.
I'm just Kex.
Anywhere else I'd be smoted.
Yeah, if you ever want help with runes, I can help you, but yeah, like you said, different kind.
Okay. Well, as the man, I'm master of runes. I'm Mr. Saffron now. That's kind of weird. I don't
weird
like
to me.
being. It is kind of funny. Well,
If you can think of an appropriate C word to describe what you do, then we can make you the MC.
master of chortling? No. I would like to help with my runes though. So as a point of order, before we go talk to people that might hit us over the head with a hammer. Let's see. Stop it. I don't know what you're chuckling about, but I don't like it.
You shouldn't.
You're starting to lose any sense of humor in your old age.
Get off my lawn!
It is not the permitted laughter time.
It is not scheduled chuckling time. Back to work.
We've had first chuckling, yes, but what about 11sies?
He doesn't know about 11sies.
That's the one that we keep in private.
All right. You got big gauntlets. I can't help too much with that.
They're not big. They're delicate.
They're big to me.
If you put them on, they would shrink to your size.
Last time we did that.
Sorry, I just
Not again.
just like volunteering a little
can I see those
main
really quick?
mechanic.
They only work for me.
You cast spells. He casts spells. Cax.
That's me.
I actually want to help you out. Can I see your non-mind knife?
My non-mind knife.
Yay.
Sure.
Lightning dagger.
Yep.
Takes out grabs one of the stones and
Oh, that's very nice work.
I have a lot of concern watching Saffron do this, but she clearly knows what she's doing.
oh, she's actually actively fucking up your dagger. Like she is carving the word saffron
I'm gonna get
into the side
guidance.
of it.
I'm sure she is.
It's beautiful. You're doing such good work.
And then she
She's like,
tink, tink. And then you notice this kind of like ghostly white aura starts to hover around it. Catch.
I really like the attention to the
what
detail
did,
that the Comic Sans.
what? Totally missed what you said.
I said I really like the attention to detail there with the Comic Sans.
So,
That would be how she would write.
what'd you do?
That you can throw twice as far.
Oh!
And it does it really good, so you don't need to worry about it.
What does that mean?
Meaning like you can, listen, I've only been around for a little bit, so
okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
But it seems like you have like a good spot you're at home in when you throw it.
Yep.
And then a little bit further it gets a little hard, right?
Sure.
It's just gonna be easy.
Oh,
It's all gonna be easy.
okay.
So
Howling brand.
yeah. Effectively you can throw that dagger 120 feet without any disadvantage.
There's no drop off.
No drop off.
Sweet. Well, thank you, Saffron. That actually is really helpful.
You are also going to gain an additional +1 bonus to it.
Damage and?
Yep.
Sweet.
All right. I can only do that so many times, but yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Saffron.
Happy Winter Court Day.
I still have the old version of Saffron in my extras. Is there a way to add that to my... Not right now.
Unfortunately, not because we're using the UA RuneScribe stuff,
Yeah.
which is not available in D&D Beyond.
Okay.
You can't even homebrew it?
I tried homebrewing it for Lolax a long time ago and does not have the facets to do so. It sucks.
And it sounds like a lot of work to do that. So I get it.
Cool. That's how does it look now? Does it look fucked up?
It literally has, well, actually, do you speak Sylvan?
I can read any writing.
That's true. You see the name Saffron in big, like, ripped up. Yeah, this is not a nice
Looks like
part.
yeah, okay. All right.
Down the fuller of it, and she ends it with a heart.
Yep.
And then you're pretty sure that period is an anus.
The only thing that was actually the sigil is the heart. Everything else was not necessary.
That's what I'm imagining. It's like the bulk of the work went into just her name, and that's the least important part of it. Yeah, thank you. This is actually going to be extremely helpful with what we're about to do. So, thank you.
I hope it lets you murder people better.
Oh, it's gonna. Oh, it's gonna.
Cool. All
It's
right.
on your hands.
Oh, I have so much blood on my hands.
Yeah.
What have you done?
What hasn't she done?
I've turned you guys into beasts when you killed people. I have, made them glow up so you can hit them better. I've done a lot.
Slowed them down.
Slowed them down, brain addled them so you could like hit them while they were,
But
confused.
Have you ever actually dealt the killing blow to anybody? With your own hands?
I feel like if you're holding somebody while somebody else stabs them, you're still involved.
I've been an accessory the entire time.
Yeah.
But,
We'll
never know.
Right there.
We'll see.
This whole time. But thanks for asking.
She flies away and she goes invisible, but you can all just hear, almost like it's right behind you. We'll see. Maybe soon.
Oof. Yes. Yes to that.
She's fucking chilling.
Most of the people around me are. In one way or another.
I don't really think I've...
That's awfully insensitive of you, Sayil. I'm not that cold.
Okay, you took that in a literal meaning. You are terrifying as a person, as is Styx, as is Alyssa.
I mean, you said in more ways than one.
Don't think about it too hard.
We're all scary motherfuckers now.
Oh, I thought you were talking in the literal sense. Yeah, like my skin.
No.
Oh.
I don't. I try not to, talk about or objectify other people's bodies. Like how you always talk about
You just do that in
me
private.
and my
with-
blood.
You just do that in private with Styx. That's why he still have his cloak on, right?
Like when it's consensual objectification, it can be enjoyable for both sides.
I'm just saying, we have a new potential number one.
So who do you think's the
Sayil.
party leader?
It's Sayil.
Styx.
Yeah.
It's me.
Glad we're all on the same page. No, it's Sayil.
Yeah.
I'm not the person in charge
Our
of bringing
Lord.
people back from the dead.
No, but you are in charge of every river in the entire world now.
Yeah, that's not. None of you are rivers.
Sayil, where were we just at? The other side of the continent?
Yeah, we were.
And you just went, and we're here.
I know it's gonna make travel so much easier.
You're the leader. You're the captain of our ship. You're the leader.
Speaking of which, that ship.
I know.
We'll get it after.
Do I think I could take the ship through rivers that are big enough?
If you were at the helm, mayhaps.
You might piss off your brother.
I'd take it through
Displacing all
Hajar
of
and
them.
then out, and I would double check ahead of time. But there are two I think that I could very easily use.
So, can you summon like non-spirits from the river?
What do you mean by that?
So if I wanted like, let's say like 1,000 salmon or something, could you just like...
Nah,
I
I like salmon. Salmon's nice.
no, that would destroy the salmon population. They would never recover.
What if we just... how about one a day?
I could look into it, but I don't want to right now.
One a week?
Probably.
I can make sushi.
Styx can conjure food. Styx been able to make food.
But it tastes like ass.
Every time he conjures something, it tastes a little bit...
And you have to
judgy.
put your little zizzass on it just to make it palatable.
You remember that one time I tried to make coffee? Wasn't it the same?
Oh.
You made me an excellent meal.
It was nothing like yours.
It was amazing. I very clearly remember that. You were the only person who's cooked for me in the group.
That's not true. Styx.
Oh, Styx did recently as well.
Yeah.
I haven't. I'm the only one that hasn't.
No, you have tried to ply me with wine of myself,
Yeah.
but
Hey, you're the one that offered you. Hey, you're the one that offered it to me when I didn't even ask.
that's true.
You just went like, hey, so I did this. You just handed me a bottle of yourself.
I thought it was a kind gesture.
It was, and I thought I'm being kind back.
I don't want to drink blood.
Going back to the rivers thing. So
Yes.
what about the beavers? Could you send like all the beavers to one location and then just like dam an entire thing?
So, like, I'm not the beaver prince.
Special delivery.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for the notification for that.
The milkshake is mine.
I don't know whose it is, but there you are.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you, Norma.
I was waiting. I was going to grab that. Thank
That's
you.
so funny.
I'll put this away from you.
Thank you so much.
Very kind of you.
I was so like,
What's happening?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my grandmother-in-law,
Incomparable.
the incomparable Norma. We rent out their rec room here, so we're basically one step above being in our mother's basements.
so this is technically a lower level of the house.
This is, you're right. We are
Grandma's
in
rec room.
Grandma's rec room, one above Grandma's basement.
Mother's basement.
All I know is this show is made with love.
It's true. Norma's awesome.
Technically, that's not your blood anymore, if you think about it.
It's still mine because it came from me.
Oh, but like you're not that person anymore. You're all like,
Neither would a living body in 7 years' time. That's how long it takes for the full thing to regenerate.
Okay, not to be like, but the beavers. Like, could we dam like an entire like waterway?
just one taste.
I'm gonna kill everyone in this room and then myself.
I didn't do anything.
Not yet.
I could never prank you, my lord.
You've tried.
Winks.
The
at
bigger they
Saffron.
are, the mightier they fall. With respect to pranks.
I do not think I have dominion over beavers. One of my brothers looked like a beaver. I might be able to make a deal with him as a respectful, like engagement.
You have dominion over him, though.
No,
Yeah.
I can summon him to court. I can't tell them what to do.
Sail Moonsong,
You did
Lord
just-
of the Beavers.
You say that, but they all just ripped apart somebody else on your beckoning call.
Not all of them did that.
I'm
And
pretty
I
sure
did not punish anybody, and some of them were very happy to do
I watched that beaver jump on top of that hag and just go in.
Raising dark.
Right. So I think you got dominion
a hungry
over
beaver.
beavers.
Is there any hippos on this continent?
I don't know. That's not.
Who does then?
It's not you that know.
There might be a Lord of Hippos somewhere we could ask.
Sail, can you give me a history check and advantage?
With advantage.
Well, I rolled an 8 and a 2, which means that's only a 21.
Yeah, so you know that there are animal lords out there
Yeah.
that are not necessarily
Jeremy killed me.
speaking of the animal himself.
We can stop stalling for time now.
Let me
Your
say,
mic
first
back
and
on.
foremost, fuck all of it.
We deserve that. I deserve that.
Missed you too, bud. How you doing?
All right. There are 100% animal lords out there. You know, like there is a bear king,
Yep.
cat queen, things like that within the fake courts that are not tied to the primordial courts. So, you're not sure if you could call on the hippo lord themselves or not. Much like you're talking about, like I could ask. You might be able to ask.
Yeah. So the Lord of Hippos is a separate royal court, so I could reach out in an official capacity, like a kingdom to a kingdom, but I can't tell him to do shit.
So is the Lord of the Hippos like the biggest of the hippos? Or like how does the monarchy work?
I don't think it's necessarily a size-based thing, but I would suspect they are probably the biggest.
Is there a Jotun-like hippo?
I mean, probably not as old, but yeah.
Okay.
So we have an in to go in and talk to these people,
Open.
but I don't have the ability to just decree things over them.
I see.
I've heard
But we
of
could still make friends-shaped friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've heard of a great and powerful hippo named Moto Moto before. I was just wondering if it was one and the same.
Is that the name of?
That is not the name. Moto Moto is a hippo that did live in the Selesnian quarter.
No.
Keyword on did.
Yeah.
They were old, prolific hippo that was used as a war beast at one point in time.
Okay.
They unfortunately fell in battle.
God damn it.
No, you're thinking of old Moto.
Oh, I get the legend confused every once in a while.
Yeah, he used to stop by the Pride's Call, and we'd have to chase him off the big chair when he got a few too many drinks in him.
So for the big fight, are you going to be able to like ask all those courts to like participate?
We could maybe. It'd be a lot of going around and petitioning people for assistance, and then it would be transporting them.
Okay. If you want some really fancy letterhead, I can get that for you. By the way, I know I am the person. I was going to say I know it. Yeah.
Well, you,
I know.
as soon as you place somebody in charge of the Gilsrow River, then you don't have to worry about transporting them, right?
Can I do it?
Can you?
Can he? Can she?
What about that? Oh, do you have dominion over that one that has my other gauntlets?
No.
Not a water.
Contract
court.
broken.
Not a water guy.
So you know Titania?
Yeah.
She has like a rival queen named Mabe.
Okay.
Mabe is in charge of that little guy.
So, what if you just happen to have a bag of holding that was really spicy?
I could see about tracking him down. Maybe putting it on his person. Or just conveniently leaving it around where he is.
That would start a war in the Fae right when we need them to not be fighting each other.
I also wouldn't trust that little bugger with anything.
That too.
Yeah.
He's fast as fuck.
He's really fast.
People might not ever even learn that he has it.
Yeah.
We've been playing a little fast and loose with that information, by the way. Like, I know we trust all these folks, but I'm a little bit worried because, like, Titania seems like the type of person where if you, like, sneeze in her presence, she'd be like, that she'd take a personal offense to it.
Yes. I trusted Juceris.
And I like
with
my
it.
family.
Yes. I'm going to try to not indicate your family. I'm thinking maybe Styx could hit me with a zone of truth and then I can omit specific details and pin everything on Hood
But
while in
then,
front of her.
Didn't Althea just say
yeah,
don't bring
Althea
up
said
Hood?
that was going to be bad.
Well, it's his fucking fault.
But then that's going to punish Althea's people that are allies we also need.
I'm going to paint them as being duped by Hood because he's a menace to society, and then I'm going to offer Hood, a nice little getaway somewhere that hopefully he'll never be found.
One of your rivers.
Yeah.
With the Hippo King.
That'd be funny. But this is the guy that pranked your dad into being lifelong hunted by Titania unless I do something about it.
But my dad actually did something wrong. And, like, I love him. But, like, I don't want him to, like... I feel like there is an injustice here that my dad's done. But I fear that, like, her sense of justice would basically just mean death.
Yes.
So I don't feel like... I don't know. I'm confused.
Do you think he should get off scot-free?
No, absolutely not.
But we also would like him to be alive.
Yeah.
You said she's going to kill him.
Jaceres was pretty horrified when you said you had the bag. So,
Yes.
yeah, I think that should be proof enough.
So
So was Althea.
So either we take the blame,
Nope.
or the person who should take the blame takes the blame.
Which is her dad.
I'm just saying.
Well, if we blame Hood and then Hood says, actually, I gave it to a cat, specific locations here.
I think we should just be honest about who had it originally, who gave it to who.
I'm worried
How
that
we
if I return it in my official capacity to her while explaining the truth of everything about it, she's going to use that to leverage
How
one
about
of the primordial courts to have to listen to her.
How about we give it to her on the condition that we give no explanation of how it came into our hands?
We will be killed.
Yeah, that's
Okay, well then let's just not give it to her then. If it's going to result in conflict
Can we
and
destroy it?
let's just drop Melissa's rat inside of it and see what happens.
Hey, McGuire has done nothing wrong.
I didn't say I wanted to do this because he's done anything
You all
wrong.
have had it out for McGuire since I introduced him to the party.
I've never
I
done anything to
love
McGuire.
nobody has ever had anything.
You hate
You hate McGuire. You
No, it
flew
was,
away from him at the on the ship.
No, it was the kobold that was his former character.
Yes.
Where most of the hate for McGuire came from.
Six never hated McGuire.
Yeah. Whenever he was playing that the kobold artificer on the ship, he was like,
Didn't trust him,
that fucking freak.
but it was also because Kobold's small size.
I somehow managed to collapse those characters in my head. I apologize, as Lizzie and Alyssa.
You see, as you guys are talking about, McGuire's been trundling alongside you, just rolls over on their belly.
I really want to get fan art of McGuire.
You ready to flex your speech to these people? What's your game plan here? Just be like, I am God of everything, and take me to your leader.
I am, that is.
I was going to kindly and politely introduce myself and us. Ask if there's anybody I can talk to about going and seeing. What's the name of the Teran
Hajar.
Hajar? Teran Hajar. Ask if there's any way for us to make pilgrimage to Teran Hajar to help in his time of need.
Okay, so the power hasn't gone to your head yet. Got it.
You guys are just gonna keep making fun of me.
Listen,
Captain, my captain.
it's not our fault that you were secretly born a prince, became a lord, and everything has always gone your way recently.
I mean, out of all of us, you are the only one that's of royalty.
Everything going my way.
Yeah, that's a
easiest things I've ever.
yeah. That's.
I added the recently in there for a reason.
Are you gaslighting him into thinking?
Maybe.
All right, I don't want to talk to you guys anymore, so I'm gonna go talk to strangers and hope they're nicer to me.
To that point, as you were a ways out from the city, right? You guys have been walking and talking the entire time. That band that you saw take down the deer, two of them are starting to trot up. You guys are on this nice dirt path, so as you're trotting up, they're quickly going to overtake you on these axe beaks, but they don't seem aggressive by any means. So as they
Curious.
All right.
All right.
Well, when they get
man.
within earshot, I will try in common and in primordial. Hello. Can I talk to you for a second?
They look like they just waved at you as if they were going to just pass you by. Like, no worries, right? But as you say hello, at first they don't really understand. They kind of look at each other, and then you say it in primordial, and they,
I'll try primordial then.
in Teran, which is kind of a bit of a pigeon, so it's a little harder for you to understand. But you pick up bits and pieces of it, so it's a little bit broken for you. Yes.
I will actually cast. I'll hold up a finger for a second. I'll cast tongues, so that I can just understand, and they can understand me just fine.
Hello, how can I help you?
Hi, my name is Sail. I'm with the Court of Waters with Queen Isara. We're here to try to see Teran Hajar. Do you know what I speak of and how to get there?
If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have no idea who the Court of Waters are.
Okay.
Or what a Teran Hajar is.
Okay. You live directly over top a very large turtle that is the pillar.
They kind of look at each other and shrug. I don't listen, but you seem like a nice guy. I don't know what a turtle is.
Fair enough.
Or in this context, I know what turtles are.
Is there a grove or a group of druids or a grove that is beneath the city?
I don't know. We're just camped here for now.
Oh, okay. You're not anything to do with any of the people over there at all? And I'll point like towards where Teran Hajar is supposed to be.
Well, I mean, kind of. Yes and no. We're friends.
Okay.
We're an occupying force.
You know, looking at my notes for that place now again.
Now, what was the name of it?
I will not be.
No.
You know, we're the Chal kaput. That is Panee. We wander through at the base and we trade and say hello, that kind of thing. But they're here permanently. We are not.
I see. I apologize for assuming you would know more about that.
No worries. Would you like a ride?
If you wouldn't mind.
We're already going to the foot.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Do you have anything to trade?
To trade?
Not for the ride. I'm just saying we have many vendors
We have
at the foot of the mountain.
We have a bit that we could offer. I'll just give them some granola bars as like a thanks.
They'll take it appreciatively. It's like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah. Have you noticed any like large earthquakes or fire turning blue? You know.
Yeah.
So you know how that's been happening kind of consistently recently.
Yes.
That's because the Teran Hajar and its siblings, like I was describing earlier, have been under attack.
So turtles are getting attacked, and that makes
They're a fundamental part of the ley lines. I'm just trying to give you guys an explanation on why things are crazy and what we're trying to do.
Can you give me a persuasion check, please?
Not a disadvantage or anything?
No.
All right, 28.
28. Because things are happening, right?
Yeah.
So like you're not touching on anything crazy. You get the idea of talking with them. They're not stupid people, right? They're just uneducated on this type of thing.
Yep.
So they keep looking at each other like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? But with the 28, they believe that you're sincere.
Yeah.
And, you know, like looking at your group, you're all dressed very differently from the people that come from here. You're all in like armors with weapons, and it's like, right. You might want to speak with the Sultan about this then. That might be a little bit more pertinent. He might know more than we do.
Perfect. That was what I was hoping to hear. Let's get to the Sultan then.
All right, yeah.
Can I turn into an axe beak?
You could, yeah.
I just want to turn into something.
Your method of communication, though.
I have the ability to if we need.
Just until we get there, I'll stop.
All right, cool. As you form into an axe beak, giving a few more seats. You see, they kind of scooch forward. You guys have seen axe beaks before, right? In comparison, these things are like the warhorse variant of axe beak. They're huge in comparison. Axe beaks already being essentially terror birds from like from the day that dinosaurs would roam the earth, that kind of thing. So a normal axe beak is already the size of a horse. These ones a little bit bigger.
It's like it'll pop out as smaller, and then go like, oh wait, hold on.
So yeah, that being said, they scoot on over. All of you guys can fit on an axe beak. So that'd be like 1, 2, leaving another person that would have to ride on Sail.
Yep.
I don't know who wants that privilege, that honor. Oh, Cat.
I'll take it. Well, you don't have a saddle. I'm the one that's going to stick to you the best.
You guys see as you shift. You casted tongues, correct?
Yes.
That's a concentration spell?
Yeah.
All right. So immediately the two of them just fall into speaking to one another, very confused. And then they kind of like look over.
I'm gonna cast my feature from my votary.
Oh, comprehend languages?
Yeah.
Does that work on text or does that work on speech?
Said that it worked on everything, I believe. Let me triple check. Let me just scroll through the 3 pages of features I have.
Comprehend might let you understand, but not speak.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, I think that's true.
You can cast comprehend languages with this trait, requiring no material component.
Yep.
Number of times equal to your intelligence modifier.
For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear.
Peace. Awesome. You just, what the fuck?
Did I miss something?
Pretty man, now bird.
Magic. Have you seen magic?
Yes, but common?
Common? Like
Happen a lot?
with him? Yes. Do you want to see something cool?
Here's the thing. You can understand them. They can't understand you, so they're trying to pick this up.
Yeah, you're like nodding your head.
Oh, I can't actually like speak.
No, you can understand.
You need tongues.
You will speak at them in common, they'll go, huh?
I see. I'm just gonna nod.
Okay. You're not dangerous?
I would offer to mind link with them, but that'd probably just freak them out more.
All right. Dude, this is fucking weird. I know. Say, start to move on out. You guys trot alongside and very quickly wind up getting to this tent city down below at the foot of Panee. And they start to move through. You see a couple of guards, these Earth Genasi men, kind of look up with questioning eyes, seeing the rest of you. You comprehend language is still up, just like, here to meet Sultan. And they will fall in line with you guys. And you guys make it through these vast tents. You guys smell cooking fires. There are even people like trying to hawk wares as you guys are moving by. You see a couple of kids like running lockstep with you, holding up like beads that they're like trying to.
Are they pretty?
Oh, they're gorgeous.
Throw like a silver and
They'll
grab
toss you-
one.
Yeah, they'll toss you some beads.
Yeah.
There are these very.
Put one around Sail's neck.
You give him a collar.
Yep. I'll wear one and Sail will wear one.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot Bastion's with you guys too. So Bastion would probably be behind you.
Yep. I'll give Bastion one too.
I already have a collar.
That's not what this is.
All right.
It's fun.
Puts it on.
Now shake it.
What is fun?
Now you just sit here and shake it and it goes. Yeah, see? It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, there you go, Bastion. Bring it down.
But yeah, they're the beautiful beads. They seem to be like polished clay almost. They're like glazed and have like different intricate designs, things like that. A bunch of like runes that you can see, probably in Teran Primordial.
I mean, I could read them, but I won't waste your time on that. What do they say, Andrew? What do they say?
They're good luck charms.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Hey.
And then one of them just says number 5. No, I'm kidding.
7.
Mambo
7.
number 5.
They all have a 7 on them.
But yeah, eventually, as you guys kind of get through the hubbub here, there's a massive tent. It seems almost more akin to a fortification than a tent, as there are men and women kind of sitting outside as guards. And mind you, as you're going through here, it is predominantly Earth Genasi people, but there are different races that all seem to be in the same garb, the same like type of kit, that are engaging the same culture here.
Is there anyone that like stands out like really weirdly, like how I would stand out? Like, is there like something that's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
As in like a Dampier kind of weird, or like a drow?
Like a kobold and Breezecliff weird.
Oh.
Like, what the fuck?
What would be the...
A drow would be very weird here.
Unless they've started to be afraid of vampires.
Looking around, you see like a lizard folk man that is kind of with them. He's essentially he doesn't have like the top bits. These plains that you guys are in are very cold. You know, they're at the steps of a mountain. You guys can feel the elevation is somewhat higher compared to like sea level, that type of deal. So it's pretty chilly here. But he's one of the only people here, no shirt, just basically a leather loincloth as he's walking around. He has a bone mallet that he has as a weapon behind him. And like he has, there's scrimshaw, that type of thing, very common around here.
Yep.
But for him, he's made it like his whole deal. It's like he rattles when he walks.
Okay.
Type of thing.
Cool.
Does it look like they're kind of like posturing, like they might like try to like throw down?
With you guys?
Yeah.
It is not a posture as an aggressive. It is just a posture as like a reminder, like we're aware you're different.
Okay. I think I would just take some time like quietly and use my all-purpose tool and go into its little interface and look through all the cantrips and then select Eldritch Blast just in case.
Sure. Well, yeah. They kind of disembark. Talking man back out or bird forever?
Sail. Sail. You need to talk again. Sail.
I will revert. Hello. Is that how much I understand without tongues?
A little bit. It's a bit of a pigeon here. So he said something that you just don't quite understand, but other than he's pointing in.
I'll translate if I can.
And me. Door is open. Be kind.
I'll just take a bow then. Start to go through the door.
You walk through the door, and there is this massive man sitting on a bunch of throw blankets, essentially.
Okay.
He's like sat crisscross while going over things. He has like there's a leg of like red meat off to one side on a plate, and then he is going through what is apparently ledgers and speaking with people. He's pointing, and and moves off as people are coming in and out. You all enter in. You got
nod. Hello. Is Primordial okay?
in common.
Perfect.
Primordial is fine, but we can speak this tongue if you'd prefer.
That would be easier for my companions.
Hello.
Howdy.
Not very often I see well-armored and armed people come into my domain.
Pardon our intrusion. I am Sail, the River Prince. From Queen Isara's court.
I am. Let me double check real quick. Sorry.
Are you still River Prince technically, or are you like Lord of the Water or something?
That
River
was
Prince.
that
Is
was
the
his brother's title. So
I'm Sultan Put.
We have come to provide aid to Teran Hajar. Does he any recognition?
A little bit.
Okay. Teran Rakir, my mother's homeland, was under siege until several weeks ago when we assisted them as well.
So, you're Northerners.
Yes.
in a sense,
In Teran, he starts pointing people out of the room.
just waiting for that one.
Tell me, it is just you. He stands up, stretches. He's a massive stone genasi man with tattoos and stone inclusions all up and down his body.
How aggressive did his demeanor become after hearing we were Northerners?
Not aggressive, but guarded.
Okay.
Why the fuck are you here?
Is the standing up and stretching, or like, okay.
I'm gonna kill them myself. Everybody leave.
We've not had good dealings with the Northerners. It has been a few generations since you've been here.
We don't really represent anybody in particular.
He represents his mother's court. He just said so.
Ah, that's fair.
I see.
That being said, when I say northerners, I do not mean your mother's court.
I see. Okay. I had a moment of like, oh,
Well, what did mom do to you?
there was some interpillar conflict with.
We do not represent Teran Hajar.
No.
No. I know of it because of my station.
Yes. The people outside had no clue what I spoke of.
Correct. We disagree on historical matters. But we have no ill will towards Teran Hajar or your mother's people.
If we are able to provide them some assistance, they may be retreating to the Court of Twilight in the Feywild for some time.
What makes the stone move?
It is under siege.
Actively, right now.
All of them have been.
Have there been any...
I'm not talking to you.
On that note, these are the Broken Wings. My friends and confidants. Do you remember the blue fire and massive earthquakes several weeks ago?
Yes, our bordering cousins had quite issues with it.
Those are because the other pillars were under attack as well.
I understand. Well, in that case, I do know of a way to go see Teran Hajar, as is customary for the new sultan to go speak with them at least once a year. If you go to Panee, he points out, and speak with their elders, they are our go-between, as it were. You may be able to ask them permission to go down. But besides that, I understand they are of stone and so are we, but how do I put it?
Stone comes in many varieties.
Yes. We like to move, they stay still. So, I'm sorry that I cannot be of more help in that regard.
Direction is appreciated. Is there any fast way we could get to Panee? Or other than walking?
As a sign of friendship, I would allow you to take as many axe beaks as necessary.
Thank you.
They should be able to get there quite quickly and not need to traverse the switchbacks. They can go straight over.
Perfect.
It will be a bumpy ride, to say the least.
Yes, I was one on the way here.
Well, that is all. Please trade while you are here. Enjoy food. Any food or drink you have will be a gift of the sultanship.
I'll give him a granola bar.
He'll take it, pop in his mouth. Quite good.
Thank you. All right. We will likely be moving with haste. But thank you for your time.
Safe travels.
Let's go find some axe beaks.
Is there a place where we could stop and do some trade?
That would be here.
I assume the market bazaar outside, probably not in the court.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't sure if there was higher quality magical effects or something. We have coin, so
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of coin for that.
I have some sapphires. Might be able to barter.
That's true. We do have those. We do have more. We have 1,000 worth of sapphire.
I have 1,500 on me.
Oh yeah, but we got a lot. Okay. Well,
All right. Well, let's go down to the markets then.
take a quick peek before we sprint up.
Yeah. You guys leave the room here. You see, as you kind of like leave, the two tribesmen that kind of like led you in here kind of
Everything's fine.
people left quick. Good.
Good. Sultan gives us X beaks to go to Panee.
How many?
5 of us, probably 2, 3.
3.
You see, they'll nod and poke their head in, and you hear the Sultan just like, yes, get them 3, go.
Just really quick, how much larger is Bastion than us, just as he is?
In his human form, because he's had these weird like physical augmentations done to him, he stands around 6 feet tall now. He wasn't short to begin with. Like Northerners normally are like fairly well built. He was considered fairly thin and frail for somebody from the Barrack North. He is. It's like he's gone through the last bit of puberty as well, because he's just like filled out.
Okay.
So it's not that he's insanely tall,
Yeah.
but he is still like a little over 6 feet tall. And instead of being like 150 pounds, he's now sitting at like a solid
250.
250.
Okay. I just wanted to get the image in my head because I know he's been augmented, but I'm like, how exactly big is he now?
To go along with that, he has scars all over his body now. Across his face, you see that there are like stretch marks all over him from stress, from actually changing into like the werewolf form and like changing out of it. He has stitches across like some of his arms and things like that. So as he's moving around, he is not
Garnering a lot of attention.
quite the opposite. You see a lot of people are actually sizing him up.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna. If he gets nervous, I'll be like, tickle the beads.
Oh yeah. As you all move through, they do have quite the bazaar here. They have things all the way from like very well made like leather. They have specialty woods and things like that. Stones. They have a very odd stones market here, where it is like a lot of this is similar to like artistry more than it is like stock or like stonework itself. So there are like beautiful carvings. You see there are stones that actually have they're carved fully like through and through, so they have these shapes and things that you can actually see all the way through. They have what are essentially like wind chimes, except they're not designed to like hit each other. Instead, they have when wind blows through, you can hear a small like chord. And then other ones that are made, you get the idea, they're like on the end of a stick and they have a rope. So when you spin it, it starts to scream.
You want to see if we can find anything useful through here? You're kind of tour guide at this moment. You're the only one who can really speak the language.
I'll kind of scan for sizable smithies or anything that I think would be arcanely interesting or magically potent for Alyssa.
Sure. You begin to look through and you do spot a smithy. There's this massive tent that, while all the other tents have like pulled leathers and things like this one almost balloons up and out because there's so much heat that is happening down below that for each bellows that goes through, you can actually watch as the top of the tent itself begins to like, it breathes in and then breathes out, breathes in and breathes out as smoke begins to go up. Yeah, you see there are some of these tribesmen that are coming through, walking out with like weapons, things like that. Some people are walking in with like the people here do not wear the same type of armor that you guys do, right? They're probably not wearing plate. They're probably not wearing anything like that. But instead, they use pieces of it, right? So they do like scale mail, where it's like the arm that they use to like defend themselves with. That is completely plated up.
What do you mean? They don't have celestial platinum?
Yeah. But it's actually to that, while like Alyssa's moving through, your armor is not normally big and bulky. It's sort of fairly form-fitting, right? And then your new virtue that you have on you, a lot of people are actually starting to, like, as you get closer to the smithy and you're more into the areas of like artisans' tools and stuff like that, people are pointing at them. You see a few of them. One of these like teenage kids walks up and they put their hand out to you, kind of like looking at your glove as you kind of hand it out to them. They're looking over it very nicely, very gently, and they like see the mosaics and they point and point and point and point. And it's like, beautiful.
I'm going to bow.
They'll bow back to you.
Dex, do you need anything while we're here?
So I just realized my Gravekeeper's mantle is the armor. So is there any way to bolster it or take the enchantment that's on it that gives it the anti-necrotic properties and put that on something else?
So we've gone over this before when you wanted to change the Glacius Gladius, right?
Yeah.
Can you? Yeah, it's a whole process. It takes time.
It's almost easier to start over.
It's not something that's going to happen here.
That being said, like Alyssa can grant you +2 AC, if I remember correctly, through one of your augments that you can do.
You just lose the +2 spell attack.
To be honest, I don't even think I was using it because I couldn't find a way to add it.
Actually, I think I might have a free infusion because I'm no longer using a shield, so I no longer have my repulsion shield.
I will just, if possible, I'll just take the AC. Because I get the spell save.
What
Is it spell save or is it spell casting modifier?
is your
Spell
AC, Jeremy?
attack.
17.
Okay, his is still lower.
Mine's 15. So I think you should have a 19 AC. We might be able to get you like a.
I think you can
like
get
your
armor.
shield though.
I mean, the shield.
Your armor's special too, yeah.
The shield is nice for advantage on perception, but other than that, it's kind of like. Oh, it's advantage on initiative rolls and wisdom.
Yeah, you want to keep that.
I think the issue that you guys are running into currently is that you guys are you're not super strong characters, meaning you are limited to light armors, and light armor only works if you're also have a high dexterity. And neither of you have very high dexterity either.
Nope.
So you guys are designed to be backlines.
Yep.
So medium. Jeremy's character can use medium armor. I don't know if you can.
Nope.
Yeah.
Medium armor, yes, but I think you'd be able to max out at breastplate without getting stealth disadvantage, and I think that's already what you have with the Gravekeeper's mantle. I think it's a breastplate
I
with
12 AC
necrotic.
+1 AC with the Gravekeeper.
Breastplate
So
would be
for-
too
That would be
higher.
solid. Yeah, but yeah. So you can 100% pick up a breastplate here.
Yeah, but you lose the necrotic resistance, which,
Is big.
yeah.
I can give you necrotic resistance as well. I just can't give you the +2 AC and that.
Can we just look through the market? I want to try and find any kind of either see, I'm looking specifically for any kind of magically imbued armor or any kind of amulets, rings, things like that.
I'll tell you above board right now, this is a traveling market. They don't have a ton of magic stuff here.
Not much.
They have a bunch of really, really well crafted. You know, these people are artisans. Alyssa, you walking through here and seeing all these things, it is beautiful. And they have an appreciation for what you have made as well. Even getting to the smithy, you see this guy has, he is a Earth Genasi man, or actually, no, sorry, Earth Genasi woman who is running this, and she is a little bit different. She seems to be almost made of like volcanic glass. So a lot of these people have these like almost sedimentary stones and stuff that kind of like poke through their skin. where they're like their versions of freckles or like body marks, things like that. Hers is obsidian, and her hair is obsidian. It like comes back. She's all decked out like that. And that being said, though, she has like cracks going through her skin as well that have just a hint of like glow to the bottom of it. Anybody who would like to, please go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
I don't feel like, well, no, I don't feel like Kex
14.
would pick up on this much.
I'm guessing it's half fire, half earth.
So scale mail would probably be your best bet if you want to try and find some armor here. That's 2+. That's 2 more AC than what you have. And then Alyssa could give you the necrotic resistance. 13. Or you can go the other way.
13.
With the +10.
Basically, if you buy the scale mail now, you could enchant it later.
With a 14 looking at her, you can't tie into why, but you can tie together. The black paws look eerily similar when they're in their werewolf form. That they have this type of, they look more like burnt wood and like trees and things like that instead of like obsidian, but they have the same cracks and crevices and stuff in their skin that like imbues a little bit of fire, almost like they have too much in the center and it needs a vent out.
Do I think it's possible for like Genasi and do I know if it's possible for Genasi to have lycanthropies and that kind of?
You don't see why not.
Okay.
Though you don't think there's ever been contact enough for them to have at least the black paw variant of it.
I'll like lean over to Bastion. You getting any feelings of familiarity from the glass lady over there?
Let's see. Actually has advantage on this.
Oh.
Advantage to check for lycanthropy.
No, he has advantage on the specific type of Arcana check.
Augmentations?
Yes.
Oh.
You see, he kind of like narrows in, but with a 6 on the die, with advantage, I got no idea.
Fair enough.
She looks cool.
I agree. Yeah.
Like killer, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look over at Bastion. He's giving, I love a woman that will literally fucking kill me.
He's like a muscle car guy now, but with like augmentations. Like, nice. How painful were yours?
Oh, incoming. Oh no.
Oh man.
Or maybe good. But yeah, as you kind of walk up to her. Yeah.
Hello. We're looking to buy any some arms and armor if you have any upgrades for us.
I have. Oh my gosh! Rating with a party of 26. Hello, everybody!
Hello.
Holy
Man.
crap!
Goodness.
Oh wow.
Whoa!
Ooh,
Hi, everyone.
Well, damn.
you caught us in our shopping episode.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we shopped.
Oh my gosh!
Haven't had fundage.
Hello, best viewers ever.
Hello.
Jeez Louise, hi. I guess we'll go into our shtick really quick so people know what we're doing around here. Hi, we're the Dunderheads. We
Right.
do D&D and D&D accessories around here on Sundays. We're currently at the tail end of our Queen's Rooks campaign, where they have been battling the unnamed god who has taken the Raven Queen. They are currently exploring new lands as a way to go to an area called Teran Hajar, which is one of the earth pillars to the pillars of creation, and trying to save the people there, which will help the other people. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing right now. But oddly enough, we're in the middle of a shopping episode.
Don't
And we're
worry,
level 14.
the fighting's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
Don't worry about
it'll
it. It's
come,
good.
don't worry.
You guys like watching high-level D&D combat?
It's a pit stop.
Yeah. So, hi, thank you so much for joining. Yeah. All right.
How long does the session take?
So, yes.
As you can see, my master of crafts over here, and I'll point at Alyssa, has an idea of what she's doing, and I'll point at her gloves.
Has an idea.
You watch this woman's eyes open. Like her... May I?
Just making Alyssa a bunch of smithing friends.
Looks this, starts like looking over like the intricate way your gauntlets work, and she's like starting to look. This is functional.
Is she speaking common?
She is.
Okay. Yes, it is. Would you like a demonstration?
Functional how? What does it do?
I'm going to allow her to cast Identify if she has it.
You watch as one of her eyes flares red for a brief moment. She has to do a little bit of chanting. It takes some time. She's not as magically inclined as the rest of you, but she looks it over. You watch that little ember in her eyes flares up a little hotter as she's looking at the intensity of the virtue that is on your hand.
For our new viewers, Lizzie the artificer over here rolled a 50 on making these gauntlets.
She will hand you a billet of iron. Can you bend that?
Yes, I did roll a 50.
Which should be beyond impossible.
I actually rolled a 16, and then it turned into a 50.
Yes.
With all the modifiers and benefits and stuff.
She could have rolled higher, which is scary.
Wasn't it like bless, guidance,
Flash of Genius,
Genius,
Bardic Inspiration.
Bardic Inspiration.
Rolled a 10 on a D10.
Yep.
For
That was crazy.
inspiration.
Yeah. So you bend it, and she has to take a step back, and she's just like, "Oh my god!"
Actually, would you like to read like the description for what that item is? It sounds like they might
Defiance.
be interesting.
Yeah.
This is a homemade, super legendary artifact
Yeah.
weapon that Lizzie made.
Well, Andrew wrote it. I made it in game.
Yeah. Here, hold on.
It's very cool. Very cool.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
In our previous campaign, they fought the 7 deadly sins. So the items out and about that helped them were the 7 virtues. Alyssa has made the 8th virtue, which is defiance. Because how hardcore does that fucking sound? Yeah, articulated gauntlets, lean and form-fitting from to the hand, wrought with divine platinum with mosaic inlays as broken wings. Each of these inlays will light up when a spell has been absorbed by them. When they are full, they crackle with arcane potential. Essentially, what they do is that they will literally grab spells out of the air, which will charge up the gauntlets themselves that she can then use to do other things. Her strength is set to 22. She can cast counterspell essentially at a 27th level, and then she can use the charges that she gets from that to add a D8 to her strength checks or saving throws, or to add damage like a smite. And then at the end of the day, if she really wants to, she can blow up both of them and deal a ton of damage. So yeah, that is Defiance. Oh, they're +3 gauntlets.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a weird honk outside. Colby's going to investigate. I told him not to, but
Peace. So yeah, she's looking over these like almost divine wrought gauntlets in your hands. She's like, "That's beautiful. Why do you need armor from me? If I'm going to be frank and honest."
Well, for one, it's important to make sure that you have customers. And 2, this is our first time being here, and we wanted to see what the community like has. And also my friend here, he needs better armor, and I think he's between like, I don't know he's at a crossroads, I think, and I'm not sure if he wants me to craft it specifically. So,
My friend, what do you require? What do you need?
While they were talking, I would have looked at what she had, and I would be looking for like scale mail half plate or whatever is medium that wouldn't impose on me flying.
What are the flying rules for Alan?
I think they're the same as Aarakocra.
I think that means you can't fly in anything other than light.
Let me double check.
Oh, yeah, that would be a problem.
So breastplate doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth.
Neither does scale.
Yeah, they cannot fly while wearing medium or heavy armor.
Yeah, Mel does.
Oh, it does?
So you're stuck with studded leather at most. If you also want to fly.
I basically have studded leather, so there's almost no point.
Unless you, there's mithril chain or whatever, like the medium armor has the functions of light armor. It's a magic item.
Yep.
I doubt that there's just mithril hanging out around here.
Rare metal in the artisan shop.
The traveling artisan shop at that. Yeah. You bring that up and she kind of like looks over you and goes, I wouldn't recommend that you look at any of those. As you're like looking over the half plate and all that kind of stuff, much too heavy for your little bones.
Would a weightless enchantment cancel out?
That's 2024.
Oh, never mind.
She goes, I may have something for you. Give me a moment. And she will kind of leave and going further into the back of this like workman's tent. And after a few moments, she pulls out. It is not mithril, though. It is this chain that looks to be made of stone. But she holds it very lightly. Put this on.
I will put it on over my Gravekeeper's mantle because I don't want to take it off.
Does it not fit that way?
It definitely wouldn't.
I'm going to try anyways.
All right, you have a very odd stone tabard over your Gravekeeper's mantle.
How light is it?
It's fairly light. It is not mithril, but seems to be almost made out of like this pumice stone that has been enchanted. That was from my teacher. We do not make that very often. But seeing as you've brought such fine crafts into my life here, I know that you will take care of it well.
Okay.
That is essentially a +1 mithril, but it counts as 13 to the base AC. So it's a 14. It's essentially
So yeah,
14 plus dex. Yeah.
So it's essentially a scale mail or breastplate.
That said, it is fairly very hard to make. And Alyssa, you looking it over even without a roll, this is very fine craftsmanship on its own. That is normally worth about 1,000 gold.
I'm gonna pull out my sapphires. Have you any interest in this?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Those sapphires have an elemental attunement, do they not?
They're sapphire, so that's all that I have on it.
They were the sapphires that we got from Shadow's Row.
Then no, they wouldn't. Okay.
I got them in case she wanted to use them
Yes.
for
It was-
specific enchantments, but
Yeah.
It was what we decided to get extra out of our, hey, we're with Cavis. Damn it, we never told her about that before we died. That debt's never going to get repaid.
I should have said that when I was trying to get her to hit me.
Oh, by the way, you have a tab open.
Yeah. It was me that stole the gemstones, Cavis. It was me all along.
Technically, Jeremy, if you get this and she gives you the C-buff.
She'll look them over and you see she takes out like a jeweler's loop and like begins to inspect them. This is a fair deal.
Okay. Does she want all 1,500 of them, or?
She would take 1,000.
Okay. So I'll still have 500.
So she'll actually set some off to the side.
Cool.
And was like, this is a fair deal. Take care of that well.
Thank you. So like what is it, like obsidian, like blackstone, or
It's pumice. It's actually gray and a little bit porous.
It's good for your color scheme.
The drip is sacred.
It is.
Looking true.
Oh,
Okay, and then what is it? Is this something that you'll have to make a custom item for?
Yeah, but essentially it's a +1 mithril chain.
you should have a 19
Mechanically, that's how it works.
with it on.
I don't think there's +1 mithril, so I have to add the +1.
Yeah, you should be able to go into override bonus, that kind of thing. But
And no attunement because it's not magical, correct?
it is magical, but no attunement. It's low grade
So
matter.
mithril
It's like my
chain mail or mithril chain shirt.
Chain shirt.
Yeah, it's like my armor is.
So it's a 13 base +1.
Yep.
Cool.
Did you decide if you wanted any of this?
Yeah, I mean, the necrotic isn't the end of the world. The main thing Styx is struggling with is that it was the last thing that was given to him basically by Morgan. So it's bittersweet.
Might be something to frame up.
I think the necrotic actually has probably helped you stay up more than a +2 AC.
Yeah, you can get yourself to a 21 AC now, or have a 19. With
I would rather have the necrotic resistance.
Okay.
Like just from the
Then-
horde wilting shit.
Would you mind if I grab that from you for a second?
And as I'm taking off my like leather plating and everything like that, I will be like, oh, okay, hand it over.
Up to you because you never take it off.
I don't think I've done this in front of another smith. They don't think it's that cool, but would you like to see me work this and add some magical potency into it?
Please.
Do you mind if and then I'm going to gesture to the workshop that's probably in here.
Yes, there's a whole workshop in here. She will take a step aside.
I will let her like watch over my shoulder as I put an infusion on this that grants necrotic resistance. And the way that I picture this in my head is that I've kind of like toyed around with the arcane that had like all the negative potency in it that was like in that orb. And I've thought about it a little bit, and in each of these rings, I'm going to add, like, in between like the rings themselves, I'm going to add some thread in there, just to make it like a little bit more solid. And those like threads that I'm adding are going to be what adds that like necrotic resistance into it.
Yeah. Taking a point out of Kalimvor, you take these golden threads out from McGuire. So McGuire walks up and as you stick your hand in there, pull out the one that you guys are talking to. You have a small devil with you.
Yep, I made it.
Are you,
Past the head a little bit.
are you pulling the thread out like a clown handkerchief?
I would pull like a bundle of like thread out, and it looks kind of like plain in itself. And what's nice about this is if I rework it later, I can add different resistance types to it. But for now, I'm going to focus on like using something and coloring it gold for the resistance to necrotic. And I'm going to use my all-purpose tool and have it being a sewing needle as I'm like working in between all this.
Oh yeah. She kind of like looks over your shoulder, and you get the idea she does not understand a lot of the like runecraft and everything that is going into it. But instead, as you're doing it, you hear her humming deep in her own chest as you're working this, and the area gets a little bit warmer, and you can feel almost like she is going through the steps she normally would to do something very similar. And as you're working through it, the thread itself becomes a little bit more pliable, a little bit more easy to work, as she is trying to pick up what you are doing. And like when you're done with it, she goes, I normally just sing to the metal.
That's really cool. How old are you?
About 40.
How long do you normally like? What's the average lifespan for a genasi? Haven't ran into anybody who looks quite like yourself.
Well, if we die of natural causes, normally around 100, 120.
Sounds like your best years are yet to come then.
I believe so.
And I'm gonna hand you your tunic.
Real quick, it won't let me customize the chain shirt, so I'm just going to do the mithril breastplate because it's a 14 AC medium. Just
Sure.
okay. Okay, I'm gonna put it on.
There you go.
AC buffed.
All right.
Ma'am, as you might be able to notice, I have glass bones, paper skin, and 2 left feet. So I cannot use shields or very many heavy armors. But I'll explain to her like what I have on now. It's +2 glamored studded leather. So I can make it look how I want to, and it's +2. But looking how I want to is not I can do that anyway. So you have anything of a similar caliber that might be a little bit more make me not die?
I'm sorry.
That's fair.
I cannot get much above that craftsmanship.
Sticks. Mm-hmm. What is your Gravekeeper's mantle that you're not going to be wearing?
It is 12 AC +1,
It's not a shopping session. It's a hand-me-down session.
and it requires attunement.
Is it light or medium?
It's light.
It'd be 1 less AC, but the resistance to necrotic is like things are going to have a plus equal to my AC.
This is fair.
You're walking around with Alyssa, who has the same plus as your AC.
Yep.
I have the same. I have a +13.
Mine's close.
For a spell attack.
Yep.
So it kind of makes more sense to me that I would have resistance to necrotic more than a little bit of AC. Would you be okay with me having that, or do you want to keep it?
Just for one fight. In and out.
Okay. Counterpoint then. Alyssa, could I have a resistance to necrotic too, or is that hard to do?
That was the last one on him.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, hold on a second. Let me think about it. So I have my own. Mm-hmm. Styx has a spell focus for me.
No,
Also know how.
you don't need to do 2. I haven't been using it because there's no way to modify it in my character sheet that I know of, unless I add an item that gives me a.
You would have to individually mod every spell. Basically.
You can add a +2 amulet to your inventory.
I just haven't been, so I think that it would be better to use it for keeping Sail alive.
Sure. Then I will.
Bang. There you go.
They must disrobe first.
I look exactly the same because I'm almost always under disguise self. But
You see, she does scratch her head as you take off these leather armor, but it doesn't leave your form as you then hand it over.
I'll hold out like the side of my shirt and poke my hand through it a few times.
I'll go ahead and add the same thing. And then I'm gonna look around like. X, if you also want the resistance, let me know now. But you have the shield.
I have the shield. I'm all right.
You good? Okay.
Nope.
All right.
If you ever can do 5 of those, maybe. But
Couple levels probably.
right now. Hey, my AC is more important for me right now.
While this is happening, so now I have this like pumice stone chain shirt. Styx really wants to keep all of his drip, one may say. So he would be looking around for 2 shoulder-sized skulls, just anywhere, seeing if.
Oddly enough, here's the perfect place to find something like
I was
that.
gonna say bones aplenty.
I mean, I would look for possibly like kobold skulls, but that might not go over that well with heading back to. They're the perfect size, and they're like dragon skulls.
That would be so insulting
To your
to our
kobold
friends.
I think that they would.
Imagine liberating somebody and then wearing a skull of that same thing on your.
I have plans to make it not look like it's an actual skull.
No, you're still walking around with a tiny dragon head skull. There's no way this isn't going to be insulting to them.
It could be dope, though.
It would be. I'm not saying it's not going to look dope. I'm just saying.
So,
What type of skulls are around? Where's that bone man with the big bone mace?
Do you want to go looking for him?
Did he have any skulls on him?
He had a belt.
Of skulls.
Yeah.
I mean, I would look around the market first.
Sticks, we can make skulls at home.
Oh my god.
I'll get you a nice
All right.
vampire skull.
So you begin to look around, and they do have like I said, scrimshaw is a major part of this culture. They have bones. They even have stones that have been carved to look like skulls. They have all those types of things. You see that there's like axe beak heads. There are.
That's too big. I'm looking for 2 because I want to use them as like pauldrons.
I understand.
Okay, cool.
Looking around, you do see. You're not quite sure what that creature was, but you see the top half of a skull that is already adorned to a piece of leather armor. And then right next to it, by the same purveyor, you see another one. Again, you don't know what those skulls are. On the Northern Hemisphere, you've not noticed one of these. They have these kind of weird crests in shapes and things that come across. The lower jaw is missing, so you only have the top bit. There are no individual teeth that are a part of this. It just has one plate that looks like it was used for gnashing, crushing, that type of thing. And then like where the cheekbones are, it comes across at like a bit more of a finer point, and you see horns coming back.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to take it off of the armor that they're selling, really. I wanted to maybe ask, see, if they speak common.
Yeah. Walking up, there's actually, this is a Dorvish woman who was kind of like looking after this. So as you approach, hey.
I'm gonna point at the skulls on the armor. I'm gonna be like, do you have any more of these that you would sell? Just the skulls.
Oh, just the skulls. No, the skulls are actually a bit rare. Believe it or not. You find them out and about. There are these massive plated lizards that have them.
I'm looking for some ornamentation for myself. And I was looking for 2.
I'll sell you the skulls if that's what you were looking for. They're threaded on there.
Oh, so you wouldn't be too upset if they were taken off of that armor for the right coin?
For the right coin, of course not.
Well, what will you be looking for the 2?
Like I said, they're a bit rare, and taking down one of those beasts is hard. They're plated quite a bit. They have like tails that are like clubs. I'd say you're probably looking at for the 2 of them, 10 gold.
Deal.
She shrugs, and you watch her pull it down, and then she starts digging around for like a pair of scissors and just pulls one of the threads with her teeth, and then starts to unthread the stitching that puts the skulls in.
Dick's walking around for artisanal skulls to put on his fucking armor.
You guys forget that I was trying to make a shield of teeth.
No, I don't forget that at all.
Yeah. So after a few moments, she
Gross.
these 2 skulls down. He goes, there you go.
Okay, I'm gonna give her 10 gold, which is basically all of the money I have on my body.
She'll go and pocket them. You have 2 well-made artisanal skulls.
Okay, I'm gonna.
It's artisanal. It's art.
Is it 7 silver per gold?
10 silver per gold.
10 silver per gold. Cool, because I broke up my stuff, so I'll give her 7 gold and then 30 silver. Actually, can I borrow 4 silver from somebody?
No, you went off and did this by yourself. What are you talking about?
I go back. I'm like, I need 3 silver. I go back to her. Sorry, I don't keep. We have our bookkeeper keep the money.
Oh, you're part of a big like band then? Like how big's your traveling party?
Too big.
Too big. You have a horde.
It feels like it.
Oh no.
She pops her head out of the tent, looking left, looking right. Where are they? I don't see any camp smoke.
I'm gonna point to them.
You see the little Bastion just sulking around a little bit.
Mirror image.
Each are worth 10.
Right. The mighty horde. What do you call your horde?
We're the Broken Wings.
Do you not fly then?
I do fly.
Are you the leader with the...
Some other birds before me couldn't. Kenkus. I don't know.
What's a kangaroo?
Oh,
We don't really
you don't
know
see
yet.
many because we're in
What are
the
birds?
Fae.
No,
we're on the material plane. Okay. Don't see many Fae beings over here.
The fair folk. Like your friend.
Okay. Maybe Styx's judgment was skewed with how many Kenkus he's seen. How rare are Kenkus?
They're fairly rare, kind of like in the same vein of tieflings. Also, they're not fae.
I thought they are from the Shadowfell.
No, just yours was Faye.
You can roll me a history check if you'd like.
They're about as rare as seeing a pure drow on the surface.
No.
Yeah, they're... So, when you bring up, they're like, no, don't really know what you're talking about there. My apologies.
I think the name is a joke. We had a couple of birds that couldn't fly.
Oh, that's tragic.
They didn't, like, their wings weren't broken. They just weren't very avian.
They're birds that weren't avian.
I think of avians as like flying birds, right?
Wait.
Oh, so you separate the two.
You see, she's... I don't know if I like this conversation anymore.
I'm gonna.
Oh, one of them fly.
Axe beaks don't fly, correct?
Correct. They're still avians.
Yeah, but they're. I'm gonna just hand her the silver and walk out.
All right. Well, pleasure doing business with you. You have a wonderful day. Let me know if you see any more non-bird birds.
I think Hush might be a little upset at that conversation.
Ditto.
All right. Yeah. Anything else you guys would like to do here at the bazaar while you're looking around?
I'm gonna hand Styx 50 gold.
Okay.
The reaction to Sticks,
Is this my allowance?
the gold or whatever you're reading.
No, I'm planning something.
Oh,
I'll be honest. I think we've transcended like money. If I really need money, I can make a couple of things, and I'm sure that they would sell pretty well.
To be fair, almost everything that we've done in the past like
What, he's still powerful?
month and a half has not come with any kind of payout.
Yeah, but you see, like, I never really saw the payout anyway. I kind of joined when you guys had money, and I've been pretty much nothing but like spending it this entire time. So I'm happy to give you a little bit of my gold.
I mean, one of the main reasons I needed gold prior is no longer shackling me down.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. How much do you think I could get for these if I like pawn them?
No.
That'd be pretty funny.
It'd be
Yeah,
really
but like
funny.
how much do you think?
I mean, I don't think you could probably.
I don't think you
Hold
would.
on, I have an idea. I figured I was thinking about spells the other day, and I figured out how to use sapphires to make it so you can summon weapons to your hand.
Well, I already have that. I have returning weapons, so I could probably like infuse these and then sell them, and then.
Are you guys all the same people that were upset about the bag?
I'm not saying.
Oh, solid point.
I'm not saying
That's
anything.
the threat of violence, not the lack of principles about theft.
My weapons always come back, so I'm not.
I mean, if we
saying
do that in the end, when is it really a crime? I mean, they
Yes.
kind of okay,
Yes.
All right.
It is a crime by definition.
okay.
I don't think you need any more crimes on your head.
I don't have. I'm actually like legally fine at the moment.
No, you can
All of
get
us
it.
are.
You're not.
The reason we left is because you could get extradited.
Yeah, we are in the clear now. You are not.
Well, that legal entity isn't around anymore.
All of us are in deep shit by the end one.
Well, yeah, but that's just like part of the job.
Okay, so hear me out. Why don't we go punch things?
Yeah,
I like it. All right.
yeah.
Well, so at this point in time, your the retinue that kind of brought you in here, they come bearing 3 axe beaks, and you see as they kind of hand those off, and then to Sahil, Sultan, for you.
Thank you.
Oh, he's a sultan now?
You're a sultan?
No, Sultan. The Sultan Gibbs.
The big fellow we talked to earlier.
I wasn't sure if that was like the regional title.
It is one of those howling stones sticks.
Oh, the screaming stick.
So it's a death
Could
whistle.
come in handy. We could do. That could come in handy.
He also gives. You open it up. There is a bag of like cured meats.
Oh,
Especially like he gave you specialty jerky.
Oh,
oh.
it was very nice of him.
Axe beak jerky.
You guys want some?
No, nothing sounds worse actually.
MSG. I'll offer him some as well.
I was more concerned that he put seasoning on his Sultan's gift.
Yeah, right in front
I
of him
took
too.
out one piece for Alyssa and handed it to her. I'll tear off a tiny chunk and proffer it.
It's a little too dry for me.
Now he understands the seasoning that I just put on.
He's still not happy about it, but he gets it.
Yeah.
You just ruined steak for this man forever.
Please.
Give it back.
You see, people are like starting to look at him like, dude, what the hell? He's like, you understand not?
Like from the piece I tear off, like, I'll just hand out a few and cause chaos. I'm like, bye.
He'll never have anything as good the rest of his life.
Yeah.
He's gonna be chasing that dragon forever.
I'm a sick bastard.
You're gonna be retired one day in your court, and he's just gonna find you.
I can't wait until I get to write Sahil's cookbook, and then the last ingredient is always like magical spices.
Magic bullshit. Don't forget to add a pinch of magic bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of Sahil's magic cookbook comes from like, it's just the worst ingredients you can get, and then you add magical bullshit. I don't like.
It's like fermented stomach and
Yeah.
just weird. And then it's just
It's half cooked haggis.
it's like pickled herring, like just the worst stuff ever. Fermented shark, and then he just
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it Hag Book Helper.
I love that so much, actually.
I hate you.
I love that on like Death by Monday. Handbook Helper is so solid. Are you kidding me?
Okay, now you understand how I feel about your reaction to Stabitha. That exact emotion.
No.
So what you're saying is I've ruined it for almost everybody at this point.
I love it.
I finally go out of my way to kill the hag, and you guys are still like hag book helper.
We're not calling you Handbook Helper. Just your cookbook.
You just wrote the Hag Book Helper.
Yeah, at the end of it, the way you help is by killing them.
Yeah.
It's half cookbook, half hunting manual.
And how to raise wolves. have you ever seen a picture of that book?
Oh
It's like
God.
how to survive in the wild, raise wolves in like Japanese table manners.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
One person had very, very eclectic past. All right. But at this point in time, you guys have axe beaks in hand and a mountain to climb.
Let's go.
all right.
I'm down with going, but I would probably be back with Bastion, talking with him.
Sure, no problem.
It's cool. It's your turn to
Babysit.
company.
So as you all get ready to head on out, Bastion looking around, realizing he's been left with sticks, and just, all right, I figured this was coming.
No, I just was wondering. I've helped a couple people regain their original organs back, or maybe grow new ones. Do you want to see if I can help with what they've done to you?
As far as I can tell, I have extras, not less.
Is it something that you feel like is still chaining you to something that you don't want to be? Is what I'm asking.
The modifications done, I feel, inhibit me less than my current nature. He'll kind of tug at that stinging iron collar he has. This is all that's keeping me from ripping you guys apart. So this allows me to change when I feel like it instead of when it tells me to. If you can figure out how to make that stop, I'd much prefer that. But I can do some good this way. So maybe we hold off until all the people that need to die.
I think you deserve to go back where you want to call home and live as normal of a life as you see fit.
What if I don't want a normal life?
That's your choice. I'm trying to give you an option instead of...
My home's gone. Dak is gone. And it sounds like there's no getting him back, so...
Home can change. So knowing what we do about Ashpods, what is this a curse that can be removed? Like, because I'm assuming Styx knows enough about like normal lycanthropy, but not enough about Ashpaw. Like,
yeah, so Styx was around when you guys started asking the question, right? When Bastion initially turned into a Black Paw, you guys sat down, had a conversation, tried to figure out what you could. Sail, being from there, gave you some information on it, but even him from being from the Barrack North, don't really know.
I tried to make him a seal lycanthrope last time, and it could have worked, but I didn't win.
So you understand that, yes, it is a form of lycanthropy, but it is different. It is more aggressive. And while there are forms of lycanthropy that don't make you inherently evil, right? Like they're werebears, there are different types of things like that that span the natural alignments and stuff like that. A Black Paw werewolf is about as bad as you can get.
so it's possible. Okay, can I make like a possible like history check of if we've heard anything, or asked Bastion if he's heard of anybody who's been like removed of the curse of Ashpaw?
Bastion himself might not know.
He would probably know more than us. All I know, oh wait, I think I'm mixing up with the one shot. I don't know about the mother.
No, but Sail might. And Bastion probably would, having grown up there.
No, you tried to scry on it. The big fire wolf?
That's not the mother.
That is not the mother.
Okay.
Mother bear.
Because I'm thinking of our one shot that we got more information about that. Okay, so like Styx is just gonna say like, look, I can remove curses. Probably won't work unless I add a lot to it.
I can promise you right now, it's probably not.
Okay.
Cabus was a bitch
That we know.
and manipulative and all that, but she did study this quite intently. And while she very intentionally never gave Clang or Bobo or any of your other test subjects this strain because it was harder to control. She's not sure she could get rid of it at any point in time. The other stuff, she could. This was, I don't know how, but it was different. I'm a little bit weaker than other Black Paws because of this,
But it's what gives you control.
but it gives me control.
So ideally, you just want control. of what you have.
Well, I got that currently. At least I think I do.
Styx is going to quietly to himself divine intervention and ask Kellenvor to give Bastion control of his affliction without having to use apparatuses made by the Cabal.
Please.
Okay, wait. Let me read.
Fucking that one. Do it.
Make him a raven lycanthrope.
Let me just read it because it changed. I think it's not it's like a 13 or lower now.
14.
Yep.
Yeah, it's your level or lower, so you have a 14% chance. Hilda's one level off from it working once a week.
Yep.
Okay.
Gross. That's why clerics don't get to level 20.
No shot.
It worked? Hold on.
He rolled a 6.
What?
Low rollers represent.
That is a 6. That is a double 0 and a 6.
Shot.
So wait.
So Andrew, is this going to work?
Hold on a second. That's 2 back-to-back divine interventions.
No, he tried one between the god cock and now.
He's 2 for 3.
He's 2 for 3, which is an insane.
That's
insane.
stupid.
For those who don't know that are watching, he has an ability to call his deity to kind of make a miracle for him, and he has to roll a 14 or lower
Out of 100.
on a D100 to make it, and he rolled a 6.
Jesus.
The last time he did this, he gave somebody a magic cock.
That is also true. That did happen.
This is basically, hey God, could you cast wish for me?
Minor wish, but yeah. 100%.
Can you take a picture of that shit, dude?
Hey, Jeremy, what does it look like as Kellenvor answers your prayer? To give you a image of Bastion. Bastion is, we already talked about it a little bit earlier. He's the scarred up, essentially 19-year-old at this point. He stands at about 6 feet tall normally. He's very broad-shouldered, but he has this constant dirty, ruddy kind of complexion where he looks like he's constantly half burnt and has soot on him at all times. No matter how much he cleans himself, he always has a little bit of soot left on his skin. He has this kind of like auburn hair that sits like greasy and lank down to like shoulder length, and has these almost dead green eyes. They're deep inset into his head. He looks like he does not get very much sleep. That being said, with all that, as you're talking to him, you see just a little bit of fire in his eyes as you bring up possibly fixing this.
So I would want, because that's like Styx's whole thing with Bastion, is he wants Bastion to have the autonomy. He wants Bastion to be his own person instead of Styx doesn't know the extent of Bastion and Thak's relationship. So he doesn't know if Bastion had like how much care he had for Thak. He doesn't know that he cared for him like a father, but was it because of necessity? Was it because of
Peace.
And then seeing him lose that and then immediately go to a more abusive figure through and through, regardless of his relationship with Thak. And he wants Kellenvor to reach into the mind of Bastion and basically pull like what Bastion thinks about when he thinks of himself in the best light, not when he's like feeling down or like being critical of himself. So he wants to bring out all of the negative things that Cabas did. The collar, which is like definitely a metaphor for being controlled, as well as any of the scars. But he wants to give Bastion what he wants Bastion to be able to take the power and make it his own, just like Lolax was talking to him about.
Divine restoration.
That's beautiful.
It would.
You guys hear, or rather, Styx and Bastion are the only two that hear this initially. As a major weight moves and the scales come down onto one side, there is a boom resonance, and you guys watch as Bastion's head kind of lifts up. The collar falls off, unbidden by him, and you guys see as a golden light burns across Bastion. The scars fade away. The soot that is constantly stuck on his skin burns off as a healthier Bastion is born out to the other side. He still has the strength that has been granted to him. He still has the imposing physical changes, things like that, but the stitching is gone. The scars are gone, all in this kind of golden burn off as he, in just one tear, kind of goes down his face before he very quickly pats it away. What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Talk to God.
I asked for a favor, and Kelmvor saw that it meant a lot to you.
Tears brimming in his eyes, he sits there for a moment, and you watch him hold a paw, not a paw, but a hand, up, and goes to cast Produce Flame. You guys have seen him cast a plethora of different colors at this point of fire. He's done blue, he's done red, black, even green. Gold. Mm-hmm. Emits from his hand.
Flame.
As he is taken aback by this.
Styx is going to hold a similar sacred flame in his hand.
What's going on back there?
He's taken aback for a moment as he kind of just has to recompose himself along these switchbacks every once in a while, jumping on these axe beaks as you watch him no collar as he dissipates.
Oh, he can do the ash cloud thing now.
You guys watched him do this in his first changing. He turned into an ash cloud and floated away. This time he turns into this ash cloud and floats up the side of the mountain before reaccumulating at the top, or a little ways up the top. Mm-hmm. He starts to like laugh and like whoop, and you see him like put his hands down into the dirt as he's about to, and then he stops and he thinks about it, looks up. Maybe
not yet. Thank you for fixing my trauma character, Jeremy.
Wasn't me? Was it dice?
No, that was you. You chose to do it.
I chose to. There was a 14% chance that it would have happened.
Yep.
And it paid off.
If you could, please add a dice to the dice box.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
When he gets back, I'll just be like, hope you feel better. I couldn't do much for
So
that.
how do I say thank you? Do I pray?
No.
Do I?
I mean, if you want, if you feel that's worthy, but that was, I would say, a gift from Kelmvor. If you choose to do something with that, then please do so. If you want to learn more, let me know. But I would say the gift is you doing what you want. It's a lot, I know.
A radiant flame wolf now.
I also would have been like cheering when he saw Bastion like do gold flame after feeling probably the now familiar touch of Kelmvor. Just, hey guys,
Just let me scooch on in here real quick.
and he's like, become a Reaper of Kelmvor, death to his enemies, from like 30 feet off on a different axe beam.
I'm screaming benefit.
Skulls for the golden throne.
If there was a time.
And then he'll just say that Thak would have been proud of it.
I would like to, as the person who created Bastion, I would like to say that what you have done has made Bastion see himself the way Thak always has.
He will get back on the axe beak, and he is just, for the first time since you guys have seen him, he has smiled, he's even joked with you guys, but there's never been a real sense of joy. It has almost been a put upon facade that is just like, oh, I'm in company, I must do this thing. This is part of the social contract I must uphold. He is on the back of this axe beak, and he just has little motes of fire that he's playing around with. And for Sail, at the very least, this has got to remind you of the time that Lolax started teaching him how to actually wield the fire.
About to say Lolax would be proud too.
As somebody who didn't make that character, Lolax would be proud.
That's beautiful. That's awesome, Jeremy.
And while that's happening, I'm just gonna ritual cast commune and literally just thank you. That's it. Not looking for a response. Basically shuts it down right after he says thank you. He doesn't need to hear anything from Gelmvor. He's just like, you heard me and you did something really cool for a close compatriot. So
Good looking out, Big G.
Yeah.
All right. Hell yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, with that, as you guys start to make it up the mountain, you guys get to these stone, essentially what are watchtowers. Tower is a strong word. They're on the sides of these cliffs, so they don't need to be very tall by any means. And you get the idea. Getting up there is the first one you guys come across is a Air Genasi man who is just sat inside very different robes in wear as the people down below. The Panee people, they wear these like very breathy, silky robes that kind of like are loose and billowing. So as you kind of come up beside them, they just look up from whatever prayer they were doing, give you a nod, and that is it. Unless you try to speak with them more.
I will kind of respect their lack of inclination. I'll look for any like signs of like standing stone circles or like centralized locations where I think somebody of importance might be.
This is just one of those stops along the way,
Okay.
right? So you guys still have more to go.
Yeah.
But each time you guys come across one of these, it is attended to. There are people there. You see small candles, fruits, things like that left around. But each one of these people, they do not address you directly. They just kind of nod. They don't say anything out loud.
Respectful nods then. Probably.
Respectful, let us keep going about our biz.
Yep.
These are also somewhat of an open people. The Chal that you guys were speaking with down below, they were open relatively, but there is a war tilt to their community, right? Not war as in like they're conquering, but like they're physical people. They're more than happy to fight. They're more than happy to hunt and do these types of things. Up here, getting towards these people that live among the actual mountains themselves, very different. They are meditating. They are speaking quietly to themselves, kind of whispering along, and they nothing more than a nod as you go about. Though a few of them, those of you that have like higher insights, look at your weapons with trepidation. But as you continue on up, you eventually make it to these standing stone structures. They look like they were built instead of carved out. And the structures themselves fairly thin. They have like wood buttresses and things like that are there to assist and help. But there's a very small footprint here, as it were. They don't have, like, there's no bazaar, there's no trading or anything like that. Though there are like terraced fields that they seem to be tending to, small fruit trees that kind of grow out the side of these cliffs as you guys get closer and closer, and people that are quite literally, they jump and float up to a tree, grab on, and down to a companion down below before they let go and just float down. The people here seem to be almost 100% air genasi.
Very reclusive.
So, as you finally get to the top, though, there's obviously a structure in the middle of this cliffside. One of the only things that has been carved out here. And people coming and going. There's a small plaza out in front, more of a courtyard, I should say, that has very beautifully painted mosaics and things like that down below that have to deal with like the travel of the sun and stars, the clouds, and what it's like to ride upon them. You see there's even what looks like a silver dragon that has been made up in one of them. So as you guys kind of get there, people bow to you politely and kind of just look at you questioningly.
Not like shouting, but letting my voice kind of carry across the courtyard. We are the Broken Wings. My name is Sahil Moonsong, River Prince of the Court of Teran Hajar and Queen Isara. I'm here to speak to your elders, if possible.
Very quietly. That can be done. You must leave your weapons outside.
Oh, it's a weapon.
Have they identified the gauntlets as weapons?
They're looking at the gauntlets. You don't know if they identify them as weapons or not.
I'll shunt my dagger out of existence. My hex one.
That's disconcerting.
Would you like it back?
I feel as though it would not matter.
That's fair. I'm sorry.
You may stay outside.
That's understandable. Is there like a tree or something I could go like sit by?
Please. They'll point off towards one.
I'll be like, if anybody else wants to, not go in.
Was there any recognition when I said Teran Hajar?
Not from this person, by any means.
All right. Well, I'm hoping after speaking to the elders and explaining to them what we need to do, they will allow us faster passage. So, I can go in alone if you guys do not want to let go of your weapons.
Is there any like holy sigilry that I see anywhere?
There are a few things, not in the sense like the symbol of Kalimvor, right? That's a very obvious divine symbol.
Yeah.
But there are things that they take obviously into account and they hold in reverence. Mm-hmm. That being the sun and stars, they believe in the winds themselves, and in no small piece, dragons.
So it's kind of similar to being in the floating mountains, the Misty. Because they didn't really
where
have,
there's no divine story.
Yeah, it's more like nature.
Even those in the Misty weren't necessarily nature. They believed in like the stones and stuff like that, sure, but that was because it had like magical potential, right? These people just believe in nature around here. And seeing you guys so reticent to like drop your weapons, it is disconcerting to hold so tightly to means of war, especially here that is so peaceful.
We understand. For the most of us, what our potential is innate and cannot be discarded. I myself am a Fey being caster. I do not wield weapons. I can give you this, and I'll pull out like a revolver and hold it out. My revolver and hold it out.
Like grab it and
Don't touch the thing.
confused.
little
They don't know what it means.
The small tooth on the bottom of the barrel activates the weapon.
Don't touch it.
Do not touch that part.
They put it into a basket.
But we have urgent business to speak to your elders. We were sent by the Sultan after explaining our cause to him.
I understand.
I can go alone if it would be
if the rest of your members do not want to bereft themselves of weapons, then I suppose you'd be the only one.
I'll put my weapons on the axe beak or give it to them, whichever they preferred.
They're not asking to take hold of them. They just want to see that you put them away.
Okay.
They're not on your person.
Yeah, I'll take mace, shield, toss them on the axe beak.
Your mace of bone with, yeah.
That
I was
might
imagining
imagining Alyssa being like, "Come here, McGuire." Just, like, the gauntlets off.
no.
yes.
A little grease left on, like drool.
Elbow deep in a robot rat's mouth.
God damn it.
And I'll go with.
Reluctantly. Is anybody else staying behind with me? Or am I just alone?
Well, Alyssa's not letting go of her gauntlets. So
They don't know their weapons.
they've clocked them.
Yeah, there's about 20 pounds worth of gauntlet right there.
Come on. He's gonna run. It's calling to him like the Green Goblin mask.
The one ring right now.
Run with them.
Oh no, he's gonna have a fourth name when he goes from Smeagol to Gollum about the
He's gonna change his name to Snacks.
Give them back to Alyssa.
give him
No.
snacks.
Throw them in the fire. They can't ever be destroyed if Leon Underwood never dies.
Well,
All right. Assuming you guys have taken off all of your weapons, or are you trying to smuggle some in?
No.
I don't have one.
I know. Well, you got daggers and stuff like that. That's part of your kit, but
I have a holy symbol. I'm not taking that off.
that's fine.
These in my pocket.
No? Okay.
I do have a dagger in my inventory. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Most bards do have some kind of sword of.
Warlocks. Warlocks are super funny because when you build a warlock, you can get a dagger through your background, you can get a dagger through being a warlock, and then like later on when you're like picking your pact boon or something like that, sometimes it's just a dagger. So you're like, oh, look at me, I have 4 daggers to start.
Yep.
Throwing weapons.
Yeah, for my charisma-based character.
End of bullshit, go.
Pocket sand. Sha.
Seeing you guys unburden yourselves, you see, they will kind of bow to you. Goes, many thanks.
I will go pee because I am not here.
Kex is gonna go find a really nice tree.
And they will.
Finds their most holy symbol.
He finds a tree that like gives their village life, and he's like, time to unwind.
They will lead you on in into this carved cave system itself. Entering on in, it is very beautiful. These arches go up 20, 30 feet in some areas. They left the area very open and breathy until you get to the very back where there's a doorway. And there's 2 sets of doors within the same kind of arch. You have the main doorway, which seems to be like large, ornamental, ceremonial almost. And then you have a smaller set down below that is meant for more common use. You said you are a prince?
Yes.
Prince of Teran Hajar, correct?
The River Prince.
The River Prince. All right.
What would my understanding of the official like Queen Isara's court's name be?
You are a prince. That is your title, and you are the River Prince.
Yes.
Yeah, you had it right.
No, I meant like, is it the court of Teran Hajar?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Not the court of primordial water, the court of the water pillar. I don't know what the official.
All of those work.
Okay.
But I would say the truest name is the Court of Teran Hajar.
Okay.
All right. Give me one moment, please. As they will enter in the door, and then after a few moments, the large doors open up. And in a whisper, but you can all hear it. That is the acoustics of this room that you guys are about to enter. The broken wings leaded by Sail Moonsong, the Prince of Teran Hajar. You all walk in. There is, essentially, there are 4 monks that are sitting there. The
graybeards.
Yeah, not really. None of them really have facial hair here.
What's up?
You get the idea that you've caught them in the middle of their like mid-morning game, as they were playing like stones essentially. Not the one from the Missy, but they have like a stones board out that they're playing essentially like Pai Chow or Pai Cho. As they, Lee, take a seat. As you'll see, a bunch of cushions have been left out for you guys.
Go pop a squat.
And they're continuing their game. So, you need to go to Teran Hajar.
Yes.
And you've already spoken with the Sultan.
Yes. We hope to help raise the siege that it is currently under.
Siege?
Yes.
We do not communicate very often with our friends down below.
We felt the earthquakes and noticed the blue fire bursting into being recently.
Your time up here, you notice, other than small candles, no large fires. Earthquakes, yes, as we are on the top of the mountain. But, moving along, no... Why'd you do that? No blue flame as such. But, we have heard word from the Sultan that these things are happening and are true. So, and you think they're tied to our friends down in Hajar?
No, all of the pillars are under siege. They are attempting to be collapsed.
Never understood your concept of the pillars.
They bind the primordial magics to this plane from the Fae.
The Fae.
They bind the Fae to this plane.
I understand that, but primordial magics have always been here, since before the Fae.
Well,
You were essentially asking for passage.
yes.
Well, we can see to that, but what is the siege down below, and what does it entail?
Have you heard of the Enduin Empire?
No.
Okay.
Is that like the Navkal?
Do I know what that is?
No.
It might be, if I knew what the Navkal was.
Our cousins to the east and south. They are, how do I put it?
Difficult?
Yes. They take large boats, they go around, and they impose.
Yes, like that.
Exactly like the Enduin Empire.
But the man who named the empire after himself was upset that the gods did not celebrate his ego and triumphs to the proper extent, so now he is attempting to collapse the Shadowfell into the prime material plane.
That is because he is foolish enough to ask the gods to do such.
Some of our party would disagree, but I am maybe more understanding to your stance on that.
Well, to the party, I wish you no ill will. I just believe there's much more to worship here that you can touch and set your feet on.
And we want to keep it that way. We want to make sure that nothing is imposed on you or your way of life.
We appreciate that. Deeply. So, in offering you passage, you're not asking us to raise arms, correct?
No.
No, it would appear that that is not to your taste, and I would not so impose.
And you will be raising arms yourselves?
In the assistance of Teran Hajar. If their arms are already raised, we will assist them and such. If theirs are not, we will not.
They've been to conversate in Orin, which I think Alan's actually know.
Celestial Common Goblin.
Really?
Mm-hmm. What is it?
Orin.
Maybe it's something that I didn't add to my sheet, but it wasn't added
Air
automatically.
primordial. As a demonstration, may I show you something?
Please.
I'll do minor illusion of Enduin's heraldry, what a Nagpa looks like, Stygian iron, and Nixium.
The flyer, yeah.
It's asking people to take up arms, isn't it?
No, it's not the. So I sent out feathers that do that. Probably don't have any extra. I did sketch all of the stuff that happened on the Shadow Fell side with the battery and all this stuff, which is what I was handing you.
Oh,
Okay. And the vampires as well.
You see, going through minor illusioning all these things to show, right? And then one of them actually takes the schematics, looks it over, and hands it off to another. They seem confused by most of it.
Yeah.
Other than the Nagpa.
Sorry, I was looking at other stuff, and it does show Orin under languages,
Yeah.
but it's not on my character sheet.
That's odd.
Or an under Alan?
Yeah, I'm looking at the
Is that updated or old?
Did you do custom origin?
No, I did Alan from
Did you get to pick your own ASIs?
so it's just common in one other language is what it shows.
Okay,
That's fine. It's not that important.
I'm just wondering if there was anything said specifically, if I did understand it.
Where are they? As the Nakpa kind of shows up, you see a lot of them kind of start murmuring together. Alyssa, I know that you casted
It just sometimes.
detect thoughts, not detect thoughts, but comprehend languages.
Yeah.
They're just like, does that not look like Elder Mila to you? Kind of, yeah.
Are we mind linked?
No.
Concerning that they're lotting that in with vampires. Do we tell them? Like, well, I don't distrust them. They seem to be. They believe what they're saying at the very least. We can hear them out. Mila's not here very often. So we don't know what he gets up to when he's not here. It's like, oh. You speak for them. Oh, well. And then back into common. Yes. Can you go back to the bird fellow?
I'll do Adis.
We know of one, but a little bit different. Of the stone, he introduced himself as Elder Mila.
I see. Did he request anything or impart any information?
He brought fruits and roots and pieces of food for us to enjoy. He had a meeting with us quite some years ago. But he's been here on and off. He visits when he is traveling, but that is about it.
Did Bastion go in with them?
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to talk to them.
Yeah, because Bastion also doesn't have any weapons per se. Yeah,
But he would know. He would have maybe met. Yeah.
I'm aware.
Okay.
Do you know much of this Elder Mila?
Not of them specifically. They are a part of a group called the Cabal. It was 12 of their siblings and this individual. The gods that you are not particularly enamored with. You know the Raven Queen, the Shepherd?
No.
In many places, she is often responsible for shepherding souls to the afterlife. For those of other faiths.
Who would want to go to the afterlife instead of just rejoin the weave?
It's another method by which to rejoin the weave, I believe. If that is your fate, she will lead you there. If you pledged yourself to another god, she will bring you to them. She and the Cabal have a long and sordid history. They hold a deep grudge towards her. So they are assisting Enduin in attacking her. In this case, they are the aggressors. Of a great divine war.
I do not understand the divine, and nor will I sit here and act like I do. But I can tell you that Elder Mila has been here recently. He visited with us, went down, visited with the Sultan for a bit, and then I don't know where he went.
He may be consulting the forces near Teran Hajar.
Well, if you believe that they are being attacked, they are our friends. We do appreciate them if we do not understand them. We do have some passage. It is a deeper within our how do you put it? Holes? Holes is wrong.
Caves? Caverns?
No.
Tunnels?
Our monastery. Deeper within our monastery, there is a route that goes down. We do not take it very often. We quite like it up here. But every once in a while, when there's a new sultan, we act as delegates, and we go down to a middle ground. It is a cliff face further down the mountain. That is where they are both a little further away from home, and we act as their delegates. We can take you there, and from there, there's a route that they come up from. We do not go down. I cannot answer to how safe it may or may not be. But if the Sultan has asked you to go down there and check on them, and it sounds like there's an issue, then we will show you the way.
Thank you.
Well, please, I will meet you outside momentarily. Please, go. I understand that you have a friend that is waiting out there as well.
Yes, he is impossible to separate from his weaponry, so we left him outside.
The thought is appreciated. Go. Get your arms and armament should you need it. But we will meet you outside momentarily.
All right.
When I hear them come out, I put my flute away really fast.
I heard it.
Yeah, I think both me and
I have traveled with you for a long time. I know how well you guys can hear.
If you actually panning over to Kex as they are leaving, you're out there playing your flute.
Yep.
How good do you think Kex is at the flute?
He might. How good is he? Normally, pretty decent. Knows a few tunes, usually very soft melodies. Has he had a lot of time to play recently? No. So he might be out of practice.
Go and give me a performance check, if you could.
Sure.
you just doing scales outside.
Hot cross buns.
Okay. 14.
That's good.
Okay.
That's very good. That's much better than average.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have
So-
+1 to performance.
You're sitting there playing, and then you see a Air Genasi fellow kind of pokes his head out without a word, just sits down next to you, pulls his own flute out, and taps, waits, and then
If that happens, I will not stow my flute away when people come out then.
he just joins in with you, falling in line. And after a few moments later, There's another man comes out, or another woman comes out, and you see she has this like halo drum. Begins falling in line with you. As you guys walk out, Kex is having a jam session.
I join.
Hell yeah. You hear the Moonstruck lute beginning to play.
Oh, that thing that he never uses, right?
Yes, Moonbeam.
My raven is going to land on your head and give you guidance.
Okay.
More as a gesture.
Okay.
Look at this guy.
I'm gonna pick up my gauntlets.
They're in my lap. They're in my lap.
No, he's playing with them.
I have them on.
Pinky down, flute snaps. Oh, fuck.
Yep.
All right. Everybody, if you could, go and give me a joined performance check.
Okay. I have my guidance, I guess.
That's not bad.
I don't have an instrument.
Thanks for stopping by, Game Master Eric.
Thank you.
Oh, that went out.
Right when we start the jam sesh.
Ooh, that's nice.
Very nice.
What'd you get? Very nice. What'd you get?
I got a 21. 16.
I got a 16.
16.
I got a 4 on that guidance.
They got a 19.
Nice.
Is
I
anybody
don't
else
have an
joining in?
instrument.
No? All right.
I might pick one up.
There's a beautiful moment as these two disparate cultures meld together over song. There's this. Initially, they had a bit of a hard time getting to the 4/4 rhythm, right? They have a bit more of like a 3/4 kind of like style here, and they definitely see their scales and everything very different. Like they don't play in the same modes you do. They have very disparate ones, but they listen in and they actually pick up on what you're doing. And there's this beautiful coming together of cultures. Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. That's so cool.
What type of music would you say is like normal to this area? Like if you had to equate it to modern day music,
it'd probably be like, what is Mong?
I was gonna say I've had like in my head like a cross between Russian and Egyptian.
I've just been imagining the Airbender temple the entire time.
oh,
I was thinking Nepalese.
I've been
yeah. Maybe
I've
like
been thinking Kislev this whole time.
maybe like Machu Picchu esque.
Yeah.
No, they are. I base this off the Hmong people and just move them up.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
That tracks.
so it's very Hmong. The Earth Genasi down below, they were like Mongolian. That's why they were wearing like leathers, furs, and a little bit more warlike. But yeah. So, the cultural music for Hmong music is Hmong. Like that's actually just what it's called, as far as I can tell.
Very like traditional strings and like woodwind.
Sayo comes out and
Whoa, that's for the people down below. That's not us. Actually, they also do chanting. But yeah. Cool. So as you regather your things, have a nice little jam session, eventually the elder you guys were speaking with comes on out. He smiles broadly. His kind of completely bald head, completely bald, and just beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay.
Are you good? Please come with me. As he will amble on. You get the idea. This guy does not move fast for anybody.
Alyssa, can you cast haste on him?
Driving me nuts.
Okay.
But eventually, he takes you deeper into the monastery itself, and then there is this spiral staircase going down, down, down until you guys can hear a howling of wind. And he goes like, "Oh, we're almost there." And you step out. There is essentially just a carved out balcony. Further down below, looking straight up, there is the place you guys came from above, the monastery itself, and then down here there are two steps, two sets of stairs One carved into the stone itself that leads up and out onto this terrace, and then one that goes all the way down to the ground. The Sultan normally comes from there, and then your friends of the Hajar come from there. As I said, I do not know what goes on down below. It is part of our agreement that we do not interfere with what they do. Good luck. May the winds guide you, even down below.
Thank you.
It's like a straight jump down.
No, there's a set of stairs.
Okay.
A very large set of stairs, but it's still a set of stairs.
Okay.
And we don't have the axe beaks, correct?
Nope.
You could have brought them if you wanted to. The monastery is large enough and open enough you could have. It would have been a little bit difficult getting them down to go downstairs, though.
Yeah, let's leave them there and just like
Need to be-
ask if we can come back to get them.
Quiet.
We will care for them. Yes.
Do you know?
Do you know how long you expect to be gone?
You might need to return them to the Sultan.
Or just keep them here for the next meeting.
That's a once a year meeting.
Yeah, but I mean,
We will make them fat and happy.
I can send you a message if we aren't able to come back before extraditing ourselves.
I think you mean extricating.
Yes.
Sure.
4 granola bars.
How many of those can you make?
Like 9 a day.
It's delicious.
Thank you. I wish to give you a gift in return for all your help today.
You feed one to the axe beak.
Nope. As you would. All right. Start making our descent.
All right.
Let's be quiet and careful this time. Don't want to get
I can't
noticed.
shatter.
Power cord that causes no sound as I pass without trace.
Oh, you have Pass Without Trace now?
Through the loot.
Nope.
Ah. How long does that last?
10 minutes.
Nope.
So once we get to like the mouth of the
Yeah.
cave and it's starting to be like, we
We
might get
don't-
ambushed.
Is it
Yeah,
a
we don't
plus
need to be
10?
stealth immediately.
Oh,
but
it lasts an hour.
Yeah.
And it's a +10 to stealth
Yeah.
rolls.
Cool.
Yeah, we don't need to be stealthed immediately, but we definitely should be careful and have our eyes peeled.
Do you want a mind link?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
With Bastion, who...
Thank you.
Okay. Do it with Bastion. I'll
You
be able to
leave me
manage.
out.
Or yeah, either me or Sayel, I guess. Whichever you think would be.
There's a separate group chat.
I don't like it when people talk in my head anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Understood.
wasn't going to put that on you anyways.
That was more for them, not for you.
Oh, okay.
I kind of thought you and I had a bit of an understanding.
We do.
Okay, so you're going to link us.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 hours.
Nice.
I rolled max.
All right.
I do want to talk to Bastion a little bit on the way down, though.
Oh, now we're going to be able to hear you.
That's fine.
All right. What's everybody's marching order?
I'll be in the middle.
I'll take up rear.
I'll go in the front.
Where do you guys want Bastion?
I guess me and Bastion can be right behind Alyssa.
Sure.
And then Kex right in front of Sayel.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and.
My Raven's going to be perched on your shoulder, just in case I need to make you invisible.
Okay, I'm gonna bonus action give myself 10 temp HP.
And make us all invisible once.
You can?
Yes, I've brought this up many times. I have dust of disappearance on me. We've had it since like the start of Kex being in the party. We found it.
Dust of disappearance.
Yep.
Okay.
I
I don't remember this being brought up for a long time.
I can throw it up. It's a one-time use item, but I can throw it up in the air, and everybody around me within 10 feet can be invisible for 2d8 minutes.
Wouldn't that be funny if all of us got a surprise round on the unended though?
I have a feeling he has true sight.
You can true see these nuts, bro.
I'm gonna see through them.
It took everything I had when you were asking who Pitter and Patter was for me not to respond with left nut Pitter, right nut Patter.
I'm the pitta. That was, I laughed so hard at that. I'm the pitta.
No, it's not.
Pitta. The horse is here.
All right. So, as you guys are venturing deep into the bones and bowels of Panee, down to Teran Hajar, you guys start to venture on forth. Can I get stealth checks from everybody, please?
Also, while I'm going through this, we're going into the depths of an air mountain.
Quality.
Is there any moisture or humidity in the air, or is it pretty dry?
It's fairly dry.
I want to be looking for any like cave fauna of sorts, maybe mushrooms. If it's not humid, probably not mushrooms, but I want to be looking for any kind of fauna or sorts while we're going.
Understood. I'll tell you right now, up here at the top, not a ton.
But while we're going now, yeah.
Yeah.
So stealth, just a +10, not advantage, right?
Did you cast it yet?
+10, yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Is Kate's gonna finally get the 50 roll?
I could go for it, but it would be a waste.
It would be funny though.
I could
What?
go for it, but I would need to expend something. We're not gonna
Why
do
do I have a +6 to stealth?
Are you trained?
I guess. I don't remember taking this. I've never tried to be stealthy, so 17 plus 16. I'm hitting
33.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Alyssa?
It's a great question. Because it's a +10 on top of whatever I already had.
Yep.
Okay. Disadvantage. Nat 1.
Oof.
So for a total of,
It's going to be like 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
well, so it's 1 plus 8, so 9, plus 10, so 19.
19 on a now 1 is not.
Kex?
43.
Okay. You only got 10 more than me.
I rolled the 19
Sail.
31.
plus 14.
All right. Wow.
Do I have a bigger plus to
Without Bastion.
Plus 14.
Bistian got 23
10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
with only a +3 to a stealth.
Nice.
Yeah. So, as you guys get down low and start to creep down into the bones of Panee, further and further you go, you get to these weird terraced spots where you can see there's obviously signs of like digging and almost remnants of campsites. There's a pull off essentially into these like stairs where they have like this like nice little camping area. They had a campfire here at one point in time. You can still see the soot down on the ground. There are even like claw marks from larger beasts and things like that. Sail had like previously turned into a badger, and you immediately get the same that probably was something like that. But those of you with insanely high passive perceptions, you also see that there is a band of gold has been left behind.
What?
A band of gold.
What does it look like?
It's too long to be a bracelet, but it's also too round to be like an earring or a necklace or anything like that. It obviously it's ornamentation of some kind, but you don't know what.
Can I investigate it to see if, what kinds of meaning this might have as it's left behind and not attached to somebody?
That is a very poignant question. I think that'd be more insight than investigation. If you're trying to determine what it meant to somebody.
No, I meant like, is this like a sign that somebody like dropped it because they were like running away, or is it like a I want to investigate it like a crime scene?
Go and give me an investigation check, yeah.
I'll mentally to everybody, I can't check it for magic because I am making us quiet.
Yep.
I don't know if
25.
25. Looking the area it over itself, you don't see any signs of conflict here by any means. Looking at it, though, you're not quite sure what's supposed to affix to that. With a 25, you stop and you think about it. You spent time in Guild's Row, and Minotaurs often had caps that they would put on their horns, ornamental caps. And looking at it, you're like, oh, it's a band that's supposed to go around horns. It doesn't look like it has any significance other than somebody lost it.
Would I be able to connect it to something that somebody that I've seen previously? Or had described to me, I guess.
No. Nobody that you know personally or anything like that, or even described to you. The writing on here, it seems to be in Teran. So it has like ornamental writing and runes, stuff like that. Assistance from Kex would basically just tell you that it is, it talks to the stones.
Okay.
It basically is not a Gallic charm, but more of a memento to stay rooted.
Okay. I'm going to share that with the mind link. But otherwise, I'm going to leave it.
Yeah.
All right.
horn cap.
Leave it be.
Yeah, no. I wish I was hushed right now because I would want to track where like footsteps are going in and out, but not hush.
I can do that.
Would you like to make a survival check?
Sure. I imagine it's going to be going down, but sure. Yeah, why not? Eat first. 4, 12.
12. You look around and you get less of a direction since this seems to be actually a fairly heavily trafficked area now that you guys have gotten further down. But you do see that there are multiple sets of footprints. You see hooves being a predominant set here, and kind of like leaning further into the Minotaur idea with the horn cap or horn brace, as it were. But then you also see humanoid markings. There's nice beds of like moss and stuff here, and you can see impressions of like their feet throughout here. They seem to be like they have boots and heavy boots, as it were. Thinking back to people that you've seen through here, those up above in Panee, they wore no shoes, right? Down below, they had leather shoes on, but they were not heavy soled by any means. So these seem almost military in make.
Oh, my assumption is that this probably got abandoned by somebody who is from Teran Hajar.
Okay.
And had to run back down. If it's something that helped them talk to the stone and keep them grounding. Actually, so it might be a good idea to take it.
I mean, yeah, we can just
Sure.
pocket it and find somebody who is of Minotaur make that isn't our enemy and give it back to them.
Sure.
Did
Take
you ping it for magic?
While we're walking, I can. I'll just hold it and ritual cast identify while
No magic.
no magic. Cool.
Yeah, just has writings. It's ceremonial, it seems.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, down we go.
Best case, it's something we can give back to somebody and they are happy. Worst case, we melt it down for scrap.
All right. You guys continue on. This eventually becomes almost a labyrinthine set of tunnels. You guys keep coming up to like crossroads here and there. And the large initial crossroad actually, so you guys come down the stairs, there is a landing that goes out ways further, and you see that there are runes carved up above for like 3 different entryways. One of them says commons, right? The other way is to the pools, and another one is to the larder.
The larder. What is the larder?
It's food.
It's like a root cellar.
I would tell everybody that. It's like, okay, one says commons, one says pools, one says the larder. Which way do the tracks lead most heavily? Like the heavy sold ones?
At this point in time, with a 12, it's hard to tell.
I think maybe if we went to the pools, I could ask any spirits for directions or the lay of the land.
You could.
I'm looking if I have anything to.
Yeah. Locate creature.
Find the path.
No.
I could have taken that. It would have been a waste.
Not always. I have freedom of movement.
I don't object to the pools. I don't have.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I don't think any of us have a good idea of which way to go necessarily. So that's the best way to get some information.
Flip a coin?
You gave it up.
No, not that coin. A coin.
I mean,
What's the point of that?
yeah. What's the point of that? We didn't even say what the.
We don't have any strong
We can
feelings.
just go to the pools.
Yeah, let's just go to the pool. Talk to some water.
You spend some time. You go down to the pools, and you can immediately feel the damp and heat on you. Here, to Styx's request earlier, there is a bit of fauna. Or flora, I guess, would actually be a little bit more.
That'd be my boy.
You see there's like these hanging lichen and moss that is growing here. The stone actually becomes a little bit slippery as there's like naturally occurring algae. In this case, it's kind of this red color, almost like it has been absorbing the iron in the stone around you all. And getting down into there, kind of these 10-foot tall tunnels that you guys have been going through, and dipping your head in, you see beautiful natural hot springs.
So here's one of them. I think this might be your brother.
And additionally with that, you see there is a minotaur that has had their head dunked into the pool itself, and they are not moving.
I'm gonna go up to them. See if I.
Are they undead?
I'm gonna go up to them. I'm gonna see if I see any movement. No movement. I will use Eyes of the Grave. No one dead?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna. How big are they? Are they large?
Yeah, this minotaur is probably about bastion size, actually, just with horns.
Do you think I can drag them out onto the land?
By yourself, it'd be difficult. It wouldn't be quiet, I should say.
Got you. You need it.
Yes. I'm gonna try and get them on land and get them on their back and see if we could, I don't know, try CPR.
Yeah. Getting them out with the assistance of Alyssa, they had their neck slit from like one side all the way across. Looking in the pool itself, you see that it is red in that pool.
Okay.
Let's speak with that.
Are they missing a cap?
They're not.
Okay, so not this one.
Can I prestidigitate blood out of water?
Anybody else, I would say no. You, yes.
All right.
Do you? Well, you should always. That's one.
Nope, it is not always
weird.
prepared.
So weird that that's not always prepared for you.
There's a lot of things that Grave Cleric should have always prepared, in my opinion, that are not always prepared. But,
Death board.
Death Word, I believe is. Can I inspect the wound to see if there's anything?
Nar.
What would Six be looking for?
Very nice
Has
like
Six
hair.
seen any wounds created by those sticking iron blades?
Me.
Oh, can I, was there any like weird, almost like a poison where it's like veining up from wounds, or
Go ahead and give me a medicine check as you inspect the wounds.
You watch the angel rip me apart with a fucking black scythe.
You've seen it a time or two.
Yep.
did I say no? 3 + 9, so 12.
12. Looking it over, the cut seems smooth. There's almost no hesitation in the actual line itself.
And a sharp blade.
And it is wickedly sharp blade. That being said, even with a 12, I would say because you just encountered these, you do notice some stinging glass shards had been left behind.
I'm gonna pluck one out and hand it to whoever. Somebody got hit with it other than me.
No.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, well, look familiar?
Yeah, I pulled some of those out of you.
Yeah. So there's probably stinging glass golems, which means that there's
Or sticking glass weapons.
glass maybe.
Yeah.
It's possible.
They can do that.
There you
They
go.
can.
They can do that.
There you go.
None of the Cabbases people had them. She had the golems. Do you know any of? Is this gonna be the?
Oh, I would. The golems weren't her idea, for the record.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Somebody at the Earth Pillar probably would have done it.
It was, Melia.
oh, the one that
this
we're. So we're dealing with a stone/glass specialist. Do you know anything of this person?
Him, yes, he sucks. They all suck, but he sucks a lot. Glass specialist, 100%. He's the one that figured it out. Just like Eldest figured out Nixium and had that whole place that he was holed up in. This guy had one of his own around here. Just
That's it.
completely above board. He's the guy that he runs with, I'm forgetting his name right now, completely on board with everything.
He was one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would not recommend you giving him a chance.
Okay.
I would rip his throat out on sight.
Well, you might get a chance to.
I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, expect he can make weapons. He can make golems. He's the one that taught Cabas how to do it. So expect them to have a lot of them. And you guys already know, but he also basically him and Cabas got together and had like a meeting of minds. That's where he learned that. And then Cabas went ahead and gave him a contingent of vampires to go work here. So
Okay.
Do you know,
they'll definitely be down there as well.
Do you know which ones? By name.
One named like Lucius was important, I guess.
Hey, can you show him who I'm talking about?
I'll turn into the Captain Vampire,
Inquisitor L.
the Inquisitor.
Yeah, that one.
Cool.
Well,
Is he important?
above table,
Yep.
I haven't had a long rest, so I don't have daylight. Sorry.
Don't let him leave.
I thought you had a long rest at the twilight.
We had a long rest before, and then we traveled.
Yeah, I didn't take daylight.
Oh, I see. You
Yeah.
you swapped out spells. I thought you were saying the spell swap.
I swapped spells, but I did not take that daylight because I was expecting this to come a little bit later.
I see.
Well, how long does a glyph of warding take?
An hour.
And I don't have it. I swapped it out. I feel a little less prepared than I should be. Okay. Well,
Tailbone is screaming profanities.
okay. Well, I guess we can keep moving while we in this cavern. What did I put in my backpack last session? I didn't.
You put Nixium in your backpack.
Yes. How long has it been?
It's been about 24 hours at this point.
Okay. Can I go through my backpack while we're in this cavern and kind of see
Sure.
if it produced anything?
It sure did. There is a disgusting ichor that is coming out of it.
Oozing out of the backpack? Mm-hmm. Oh.
You ruined your backpack.
Might have.
I mean, I could have told you that was a bad idea just by looking at it. I did.
Hey, experimentation is the mother of necessity, which is the mother of invention.
So, actually, there's two different things you're getting out of it, right?
Broken backpack.
No, you're not getting a broken backpack. You were getting the faintest drip of what is essentially sticking in silver.
I'm gonna start collecting into a vial.
And then the rest of it, and like it's not even a vial's worth. It is
Like a quarter vial.
a thimble. You can barely wet your pinky with it.
So does that mean that Nixium is derivative of Stygian silver, the opposite, or both?
Have you ever made hot chocolate with the dust?
I'm not following.
You take some Stygian silver, stir it in.
So hot.
To the shit water.
You got to be a little more clear than an analogy.
You are a craftsman. We are not. Please speak in non-craftsman terms.
I think they need you to explain it like they're 5.
Monkey brain.
How do you make mud?
Dirt and water.
How do
So
you make
do you
Nixium?
think Nixium is Stygian silver and water?
Probably negative polarity water. And
So,
then
like-
some Stygian silver in there too.
Deionized water?
I'm gonna roll through my mental catalog of Nixium and I'm gonna fact check myself on that.
You're very close, but not quite. So, the verdant waters that you made took a positive polarity of primordial water, and that made verdant, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about it, and Nixium being the opposite polarity of that, it's necrotic. The way that they have been obtaining the necrotic energy that they need is magical blood. So, they've taken primordial water, they've given it a negative tint, like a negative tilt, by adding sorcerer's blood. So, what you're getting is what makes sorcerer's blood sorcerer's blood. That's the actual magical connection that sorcerers have versus everybody else.
Pure concentrate, basically.
And it still has a necrotic tint.
Okay. So, if this is like the essence of sorcerers, if you have a concentrate of this and you inject it into a sorcerer, is that like a bonus to their magical proficiencies? Because they have more weed.
Give me an
in them?
Arcana check.
You got this.
Is there any advantage or anything?
No advantage.
Okay.
Just gave you inspiration.
Okay, and that's a D10?
Yep.
Okay. Jesus.
Get 2 2s.
That is a 1 plus 2 plus 10, so 13.
13. You're not sure what that would do to a sorcerer, other than whatever your logical inference would be yourself.
Okay.
It's hard to tell.
Like that time Hex drink dead god.
Is this like a Family Guy cutback,
Maybe.
but funnier?
Yeah, looks like you distilled some stuff, but yeah, blood, water. So you had some sorcerer's blood in there.
Okay. Was the bog that these sorcerers were impaled in connected, like, visibly to it? Because I
can tell you now, it was flowing into everything that she like tried to capture as much into that basin as possible.
Okay. Well, this is useful.
Well, info.
We've made a connection.
It's necrotic though, just so you know. Still.
Isn't Stygian silver normally necrotic?
Wasn't.
Yes, I'm just pointing out that you have basically necrotic stuff on you. So if you want to use it for something, just be aware that I know how you get about necrotic things. I'm just trying to head off the.
This is a little bit different than, say, an anti-dragon heart.
I mean, yeah,
Just
this
blood
is
magic.
this is a little bit more foie gras, you know, where it's just like suffering, but it's useful.
All right. I would disagree with you, actually. Personally. Seeing some of that stuff done, it's worse. At least the dragon wanted to do it.
So that entire bog of Nixium reduced down would be probably barrels of this stuff.
Couple of vials.
Just a backpack's worth is like a thimble, and there was a bog full of it.
They might not know.
What would you want to use that for, Sticks?
I'm not saying that we're going to use it for anything. This was a me trying to see what this lovely kobold contraption would make of anti-magic goo.
Okay, well, that's fair enough.
Okay, and then what was the other byproduct other than the sticky and silver?
It is the blood left over from it. So it's just blackened ichor.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna ask Sail to assist in cleaning this off. Please.
I'll try to prestidigitate.
That's a good question. After separating them, does it still make it to where prestidigitation doesn't work?
The ichor itself, yeah, you can prestidigitate that off.
Okay.
Okay, so separating it, the blood is not anti-magic, and I'm assuming this is what has the anti-magic stuff in it.
Sail goes to the input valve and just like shoves prestidigitation magic through it, and you see out the other end.
There is a like coagulated log of ichor that basically nope, never mind, not doing that.
Yep, thank you. Okay. Looking around the cavern for the stuff, does anything look of interest?
Yeah, like I said before, there's moss, there's hanging like lichen. The algae around here is like a red tint to it compared to like the greens that you're normally used to. That said, there's the pool that you guys found the Minotaur in himself is not the only one that has red in it.
Do they look of similar tint?
Yeah.
Does it seem to be blood?
I will let you make that inference.
I'm just prestidigitating water. Like,
Surfacing up from the water. Thank you. Like I said, they're getting blood all up in here.
is it just the pools around here? Is there more around here?
There's so much more down below.
Okay, love to hear that. Are there more people down there?
Oh, there are lots of people, yeah.
I'll point at the Minotaur. Was this guy part of the people that lived in this town?
I don't know.
Okay.
Are we past the waters that you thought would be a danger to us?
Well, I mean, it wasn't so much that like it'd be dangerous and more like
No.
how do I
I thought that would be
We
guys
just had this
aren't-
conversation.
how are you gonna fit through
sorry.
tubes?
You guys aren't liquid enough to fit.
Yeah, you guys are all like bony and stuff.
Fair. Are
Unlike me.
we close enough to where you could take us further in?
I mean, yeah, I could.
The city, do the remnants of the city have any water that they have access to?
Yeah, that, like I told you guys before, they got a whole river going through the middle of it. I said I could take you, but you said no because they'd put you in the middle of everything. So,
Oh,
if you guys just want to go in guns blazing, we can go. Like,
What do you know? What
we
it's
do a lot.
do you know what it's looking like down there right now?
I can only see myself.
Okay, I don't know how water works like that. I'm sorry.
You've asked multiple times. I keep giving you the same answer,
Yes.
man. I can't see around me.
Could I try to take a peek, if you don't mind? I'm trying to learn my new powers, and I don't know if it'll work or not.
You want to look through me? That's weird.
You're translucent half the time anyway. You see right through me.
No, I don't. There's much more to you than that. Like the fact that you have skin and flesh and bones.
For now.
Yeah. I don't know if you can or can't. But you can take a shot.
I just didn't want to do it without double checking.
No, you're good. Like,
I'll go over to the edge of the pool and just
This is your story,
boiling hot
brother.
water.
it's water though.
I know.
And I will try to almost like a ping understand the layout of the water in this area, like a commune with water.
Right. Much like the time where you first saw all the rivers, right? Here on a more localized level, you can see where the river is and make inferences to where, like, all right, well, if it cuts around this way and you can see that things are going into it, like there's a small dam that is turning a water wheel.
I'll check there, yeah.
That must be where a city is.
Yeah.
Right? But other than that, you can't look out of the water.
Okay.
Yeah, it is just like, yeah, you know it's there. You could go there if you wanted to.
Okay.
You could probably even take your friends. But yeah, seeing what else is around it is hard. Also with that, you know that there's like a ton of blood going into that water right now.
Yep. Okay.
In fact, you guys see as he pulls his head out of the water, he has blood dripping down his face.
So, do we go right in?
Yeah, they're bleeding quite a bit into the water over there right now.
Yes.
I wonder. Alyssa, you're a little bit more knowledgeable about the arcane. Can you take a look at this? I'm going to show you the dust of disappearance bag. I want to know, I don't know, is if I put the dust on everybody and then we water TP, if it'll all wash off the invisibility or not. Or will we come out invisible?
Is this dust water resistant?
I'm going to, I guess, cast Identify and see if it tells me that. But that'll take 10 minutes. So
It's an idea for all of us to pop out and not immediately get hit. So I thought that would be worth it. But if it's not, then...
Really don't think they would expect us to come out of the water regardless.
Can you imagine just us bursting forth from a blood red pond?
But it can't, but it can't not help for us to be invisible either.
Yeah.
Also, while this is happening, I'm ritual casting Gentle Repose if times do allow on
Sure.
Minotaur Man.
Go for it.
How fresh is he?
Not to get into too many gory details, but he doesn't seem super fresh.
Yeah. A little bit squishy.
Little bit.
Maybe a couple days.
Because the item says it works, basically infers that it works like regular invisibility would. I'm just trying to figure out if like...
I'm looking. You cast it and you hear that you found in a small packet. This powder resembles very fine sand. There's enough for one use. When you use an action to throw the dust in the air, you and each creature within 10 feet of you become invisible for 2d4 minutes. The duration is the same for all subjects, and the dust is consumed when the magic takes effect. If a creature is affected by the dust, attacks or cast creatures affected by the dust attacks or casts a spell, the invisibility ends for that creature. Essentially, it just casts the invisibility spell on them once the dust goes over them. It doesn't matter if the dust comes on or off afterwards.
Cool. Yeah, I think we'd be fine. So you can do that.
So, do we think that's a good idea, or would you rather me save it?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
There's probably more dust out in the world we can collect.
Do we want to just water TP then?
Just keep in mind we can't see each other once we do that. So
We're mind linked, except for Bastion.
not for Bastion, but yeah.
I mean,
You can hold.
just pop us out.
It's up to you.
Okay. I think we should go in.
All right, everybody.
We all gather in.
Run.
Give everybody a hug.
You fight.
No.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I've been feeling kind of sick lately, honestly.
There's a lot of blood in you. I understand.
I'll take care of this one for you, bud.
We'll purge you.
Thank you, my lord.
Sahil.
My lord.
My lord Sahil.
I hate both of you.
Can you like re-edge Sahil and make him have a really comically large crown on your gauntlets?
That would ruin the enchantment.
I think he's lying.
You don't know that.
Damn, you know that. Oh, 19 on the die.
1 on the die.
So you might still beat it. I don't know, 28.
18.
Okay, close.
Yeah. For the first time, you look over at Sail, and that same like smirk of just competence and confidence. You see deep behind those eyes a please no, please no, please no, please no, please no.
No, I think it's more like what normally is just like a smirk of confidence. Like he knows it's actually seen for the first time is what it is. It's a shit-eating grin.
Yep.
Before we all water TP'd, because I didn't get to finish talking to Bastion, so I'd say like he doesn't leave.
I'll hold him down. So
He's the one that ruined my home and took my mother.
he's the target. I can do that.
My target.
And the do you know about the oath Styx swore to extinguish the Cabal in its entirety?
No.
Okay, we're doing that.
Do I count as the Cabal?
No. You're a broken wing.
Specifically, the actual 13 of the Cabal.
My gauntlets don't tell me to punch you in the face.
Besides, you're a broken wing first, last, and always.
Then I don't know if Bastion can do anything about it, but I'll tell him about when he gets low enough, he can misty escape similarly to how Bastion can. If you can maybe burn it out of him or burn him before he can do that, I don't know if it'll help.
Only one way to find out. All right.
Thank you.
Is this another one of those times where we're gonna have no teleporty and there's a password?
Nope.
I think that was a one-time use only
Okay.
for Cabas.
Cool.
So, which means I can get us in and out.
All right, let's dust it.
I can also get.
Oh, do we want to dust?
Yep.
Okay. Dust and go in. Bastion, you're going to turn invisible, okay?
All right. Well,
Yep.
you see his body starts to expand, and
He's a golden retriever now.
I was about to say, he still has this dark fur that comes across him, right, as he shifts, but they kind of, every time he would move, embers would kind of come off, right?
Nice.
Originally they were red, then they were blue, now they are gold.
I'm kind of imagining Anubis.
A little bit, yeah. As he is now the Harrowhound of Kelemvor.
Rad.
Let's go.
I spread the word without being pushy.
We have 7 minutes of invisibility.
I give them a Lambo and they just keep coming.
Yeah.
Roll the 4 and a 3, so we have 7 minutes.
All right.
Enough time to move around and get yourself situated if you need to.
Did you make Hadron invisible?
I'm not fighting.
I know, but you could. I wondered if you being invisible would make the water invisible.
That'd be funny. But no, let's not do
Isn't water invisible?
He casts invisibility on himself. The water stays.
And I'm gonna right before
Is water wet?
Is water.
right before we go in, I'm gonna click my boots,
All right.
doubling my speed.
Can I ask Hadro? Is water wet?
Yeah, I'm always wet.
You are the water though?
Yeah,
So water's wet.
water is wet.
I could have told you that.
This guy's not competent. I'm kidding.
The fucking bird man thinks he knows anything about fucking water. What an idiot.
I'm not gonna push my religion on you, but I'm gonna call you a fucking idiot any chance I get.
He likes to start shit with people. That's just kind of a thing he does. All right, everybody.
Dirt dirty.
Stop.
You go through the water, having to jump into one of these pools together.
Jumped in your brother.
There's a
Eat first.
as you guys come out, and that is where we will take our break.
That's a good idea.
All right. For those of you that are new around here or returning after a while, we are doing 2 sessions a day. So we're actually going to take an hour-long break. Then we're going to go ahead and come back, and then we're going to play another session. So if you're following us on the YouTubes and all that